All right, and we are live. Let's start the show.
Viewer discretion advised.
Bad vibrations?
Not suitable for work.
Son of a bitch.
Warning, if you are highly sensitive, overly emotional, or easily triggered, do us all a favor and quietly tune out. No need ruining the good time of others simply because you are a beta or a bitch. Age of Men podcast with your co-host in crime, Nick and Julius. Initiate launch sequence.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Age of Men podcast. Look, I've said this once and I'll say it again. No matter how much I play that intro, it always makes me smile, man. It's such a dope intro. I love it. No matter how much I play, I'm like, dude, this is such a great intro.
Who made that?
I know, right? They're this guy I know.
I get lucky every once in a while. What can I say? No, you're the man, bro. It's good to be out here.
So appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Definitely comment below what you guys think about tonight's episode. A couple of things to talk about tonight. The main topic of tonight is, would men cheat? Now, I wasn't going to label it should, but I was like, would men cheat? Because when you're saying should, you're basically like saying saying men should be able to do it regardless, right? Just do it because they can. But I was like, how about would men cheat? And the reason why I want to talk about this, because we was going to talk about this last week and we had to cancel the show due to personal reasons, at least for me. And so I unfortunately had to cancel the show. But last week we was going to talk about this video that was going viral with entrepreneur. I don't know if he's a dating coach or not, but this guy named Justin Waller. He's been seen on the Fresh and Fit podcast. He was on whatever podcast. He's best friends with Andrew Tate and other red pill men who do podcasts as well. I believe he was also on Valuetainment with Adam Sosnick. He was on their live before too as well. There was a viral video of Justin Waller when he was going up against Lila Rose, pro-life activist, founder of Live Action. He went viral because he was basically, not saying, but just basically talking about the fact that he has multiple women, and Lila kind of pushed back on him. We can watch that clip if you guys want to, so you can understand, how that video went viral. But this video that we will play for you guys went viral of him talking about if men had a red button to go cheat essentially and then come back home to their wives and or their wife or wives and maybe wife.
Yeah,
I know, right? And basically, if men had this like magical red button, would they essentially use it? And according to Justin, he thinks that men will use it. They'll use that button to cheat if they can. Which I would disagree, especially if you're a man of God, or if you're just a man with morals. I know most men might want to do that. Maybe when you're younger, you want to do it, but I don't know. I don't know. I get it that men tend to reach their peak when we get older. I get that, but at the same time, I just see it as I don't know. I guess for me, it's just like, what is the what is how is it different? If you're an older man, you're sleeping with younger women or whatever women your age, whatever the case may be, you're sleeping with lots of women. Period. I mean, doesn't that get a little bit like is it redundant that I can use?
A
Like it
lot of
gets
energy,
tired.
man. I don't have that much energy.
Yeah, well, I mean, but even if you did have the energy, doesn't that just get tired after a while? Like it's like to me, it's almost like insanity. You're doing the same chick expecting different results.
Nice, right?
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, how is it any different when you're doing the exact same positions? Not to go explicit, but you're doing the exact same positions with every chick. Oh, this one BJ's better. Oh, this one does. It's like it's just the same difference. It's not really much of a and people and then you have men out there who say, well, why should I just have one woman for the rest of my life? Well, if she's loyal to you, it's not better to have loyalty than have a bunch of women who may not be loyal. I
But
don't
you
know.
know
Maybe
what?
I'm wrong.
No, I actually can. I can resonate a lot with what you're saying, and my core issue with this, the more I thought about it, it's not necessarily that you're wanting to have other women. That's a different issue for me from the core issue, which is this cheating by definition is based on deception, and I don't like that part of it. If you know what, if you want to go bang some other pussy or whatever, you should have the stones to tell your woman that, because it's not right to be deceiving her or playing her out some sort of way.
Yeah.
That's where I have a real problem with it.
Yeah. I mean, I that's what I've always said too. I don't condone the multiple wives or girlfriends and things like that. My thing is just like just be upfront. If you're not gonna be upfront about it and say, listen, like especially where you're at in life, if you're a man that's like on his purpose and he's like making some money or he's acquiring lots of money, and you meet a woman and you say, hey, this is the program I'm on. If you want to join this program, then hey, don't be a part of it. I'm fine with that. As long as he at least he's honest about it. You know what I mean? But if he's just like with her and then steps out for whatever reason, and mind you, you got people like just Pearly thing. This is no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, this is her says things like, "Oh, if a man steps out because the woman withholds sex from him, like if his wife withholds sex and he steps out, you should be able to, that should be fine, essentially. Like she says she doesn't condone cheating, but at the same time, she says that if the man steps out because the woman is withholding sex, I mean, I would argue that to me, in my opinion, we can blame the woman and we can all day long, and it's fun to do that. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, it is.
But at the same time, we gotta also recognize that this is a man who picked the wrong woman. Like you picked a woman that lied to you, that deceived you, that said, "Oh, I love you, I'll be your wife," and all of a sudden now
I'm too
she's
tired tonight for the fifth
e-
night
e-
in a row or whatever. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like men. We gotta stop acting like men don't pick wrong. Both men and women pick wrong. We gotta stop acting like we point the finger at one. So it's interesting. So
Off of
I'm
that,
gonna
real quick, dude. Before
yeah.
I have to throw this out there. It's perfect age of men thing. Um, so women, I think we all could have experienced and admit that women will be very hot and heavy at the beginning to when you're falling for her, and then somewhere along the line, yeah, that gets withdrawn, and oftentimes it can be without explanation, or she'll just like almost gaslight you, like it's not something, but you're like, we were making love and now she just doesn't want to. What's going on here, right? Well, that's sexual leverage, is what. And so off of the being upfront and honest part, I've told like girls that I've been with, like, look, you have the right not to have sex with me if ever you don't want to. I'm not going to force that issue. That said, if I'm trying to work with you and you're not like being upfront with me or reasonable as to why that's occurring, I'm going to be having sex. So if it's not with you, it's going to end up being with somebody else if you don't have it with me. And suddenly they stop using it like that. It's
Yeah.
that easy. It's just the threat of it on the table will make them behave.
So let me ask you this though, and I totally understand what you're talking about. Do you also think that like you're now being no different than the woman? The fact
No,
that
because
like
I don't want to have to do that. Because if she ever wanted to have sex with me, even if I wasn't really able to get it going, I'd make it happen. She's
mm,
my girl. She needs love. She wants love. Sure. I'm not going to deprive her of that because I'm too tired or whatever. How hard is it to lay there for 5 seconds? You'll barely even notice me. I'll be done before. You know what I mean? But
let me
it's
okay.
not that much work.
let me ask you this: Do you who? I'm going to ask this controversial question. Who do you
Uh,
think is more? Who do you think is more obligated to give sex, the man or the woman?
I think that obligation is an interesting word there, bro. Um,
That's why I said it's going to be a controversial question.
yeah. Where's Suni when you need her? Um, no, like obligation. I don't necessarily like that word because, like I said, you have the right to not have sex with me if ever you don't want to. And if there's a good reason for it, like you just had my baby or something and you're sore, I'm not going to want to force you to do that. That's fine. I'll respect that. But if a period of time goes on where you're withholding it from me and claiming that there's nothing wrong, but I'm like trying to figure out what's happening here so we can resolve this and you don't tell me, sooner or later, I'm going to go get it somewhere else. I wish I was getting it from you because you're not giving it to me. I'm going to have to go somewhere else. But we could resolve that by you just stopping doing that and giving it to me again, or telling me
Let
what's
me
wrong.
okay. Let me ask you this. And you said you don't like the word obligation. Is that true? You don't like the word obligation?
Well, I don't like obligation because I feel like I don't want to be an obligation to anybody. I want them to like want to do something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Are you obligated to provide when you get married?
Yeah, but I would want to find a girl that's like not gonna hold me to that obligation. She's just gonna like I'm gonna be always trying to expect to do it, and hopefully she'd be in the same boat. And neither one of us would hold them to the obligation of it or have to do that. You know what I mean? Because we both are eagerly willing to come to the table without having to be obligated. I don't know. That might
Mhm.
sound semantics,
No,
but
no. And listen, I'm not like trying to disagree. I'm just trying to like challenge both our way of thinking. So, but I hear you. But do you think that just as a whole, when you get married, aren't you obligated to provide because you're married?
well, yeah. I wouldn't propose to her unless I was in a position to be able to do that.
Right. So then so now we agree that you have an obligation. If she's your wife, you guys are now married and you want to, keep the romance going, don't you find it odd that she's withholding it? You guys are married. You're supposed to be like romantic. You're supposed
It's
to be
beyond
romantic
odd. It's a
all the
serious
time.
problem for me. It's a serious
So
problem for me, and I'm trying to resolve it however I can. And if you're not willing to help me do that, I'm gonna have to go elsewhere. But
right,
just that I'm telling you, man, you don't actually have to do that. Just that her knowing that's on the table as a possibility, suddenly she stops doing that shit.
right. No, no. So I understand the counter. I get that. What I'm asking is that if you know that it's an obligation when you get married to provide, it's an obligation. There's no
Yeah,
way around it because you're
yeah.
you're a husband now and you have to provide. So don't you think that it's an obligation for the wife to please her husband? She's married to you
It
now.
certainly is, and technically, I could be like, "Woman, open those legs. I don't care if you don't want to have me right now." You know what I mean? But like, I'm just not trying to make it an obligation like that. But you're right, because that's I have my obligations and she has hers. Providing me with sex should be an obligation, you think, but I wouldn't want it to have to be to the point that I'm making her be obliged to do it. I want her to just do it because she knows it's important to me. You know what I mean?
Right. But see, here's the thing. See, Sean says both are obligated in marriage. Your bodies are each other. Now, again, I'm actually going to side with Sean on this one. But now, let me ask you this: because you said, see, when you say I don't want to, make her feel obligated, as if she wants to. What I get from that, because what if now you're giving her the want of sex when she can also now have the want to not have sex? So because you're
Well,
saying I
then I don't want her anymore as my wife.
right. So then now I go back to my question. Do you think that a woman is obligated? Isn't she obligated to please her husband? It's not about what she wants. She married you. That's what she wanted, was to marry you. So now isn't there an obligation for her to please her husband? Just like it's an obligation for you to provide?
Yes, but so we're the I can imagine the feminist or somebody out there asking, so where's that line? Let's say your wife
I
is sick.
know. She's like,
Yeah, the pink mohawks are coming out hard right now. But let's say your wife is sick or tired or anything like that, and you're overly horny. Does your horniness supersede her like comfort in the moment? You know what I mean? Like I can imagine them asking something like that.
well, let's say you're sick and tired, but you still have to
I
provide.
still gotta get up and go to work. There's no fucking yeah. I hear you, man. Exactly. I'm just
So
playing
I
devil. Dude, you
no.
know me. I'm playing the PC role right now. Trust me, Julius. You know what I mean? It's the opening of the show. Like we can't do it yet. We can't go to Rumble yet. But trust me.
I know. No. So no, yeah, I'm totally with you. I'm challenging both our way of thinking, because if we're going to be getting into marriage, I'm gonna read Sean's tweet real quick. I want to read his tweet or his post. Sorry, his comment. I'm saying tweet. His comment. One of them might not even want to in the moment. It may be for the purpose of pregnancy and be timed around ovulation. Ovulation. This might not always be the most enthusiastic sex, but it's purposeful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Again.
the kids call that the dead fish sex.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not ignoring outliers, right? Because now we're talking about the outliers. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? I'm just saying in general that when you marry a woman, there's an obligation. You know what I mean? There's an obligation where
Certainly, dude, we have tons of obligations and burdens put on us as men. We're all too aware of all them. So your
exactly.
question is very valid, and this is what I've been asking ladies a lot lately. And Megan, I'm sure I sound like a broken record to her at this point. Shout out to the audience. Like, what do you ladies ever consider about bringing to the table in return for all the stuff that you expect from us?
Yeah.
What are you obligated to do?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to tie it back to. It's like there's an obligation for us as men when we get married, regardless if we're sick, any of that stuff. We still have to go to work. We still have to provide. For the woman to withhold that, imagine if we just didn't go to work. How would she feel? She would.
So are you saying like,
yeah,
oh, you're too tired, woman? Well, bend over. It's only gonna take a minute. You're doing this.
I mean,
I hope somebody clips that, bro. Your ass said it all.
I'm not trying to say like, you know, the R word, your woman. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying like she's your wife, and if you come home from a long day of work, I don't know, man. I just think like she's your wife now. Like you
I'm
guys
totally
should
with
be.
that, Julius. I'm totally with that. And by the way, that's why you heard me making the argument even last night. I don't see the upside of men signing up for marriage in the Western world. I would love to be shown that I'm wrong. I don't like concluding this, but to me, it seems like we're expected to provide endless amounts of things, and I can't find anything that the women are claiming to be expected to provide. So why the fuck would we sign up for that? It's all risk, no
Yeah.
reward.
Joe said, I don't believe in marriage in the traditional sense, more like an understanding between two people. See, I believe in traditional because so when I think of traditional, I think of gender roles, right? We have gender roles for a reason. Men do certain things, women do certain things. It's funny because society today tried to get away from gender roles. We do gender roles every single day. It's just that for some reason when we come together, right? So it's funny how like during COVID they said we're all in this together, but that same
But no,
statement
if
is
you're
never
not
used.
vaccinated, fuck you.
I don't know that,
Go to
that
hell.
yeah, that same statement is not used in the home. Not saying everybody's like this, but I'm saying it seems like that's the path we're on, where we're not all in this together. It's like we're together, but we're single because we want to be these individuals where the wife or the girlfriend wants to work. I'll even say wife. You know, she wants to work and be mommy. She wants to have it all. It's like you got to do one or the other, and then the husband's not saying anything about it. He's just allowing his wife to work, and then the child goes off to here. Next thing you know, your child's talking about, mommy, I identify as this. Now you're putting fingernails on your son. Now the
And now
son's
if you don't
growing.
acknowledge it, your kid's getting taken from you by the state.
Yep. So
Yeah, no, bro, I hear what you're saying. Totally. Totally. So this is a great, I gotta say, man, this is a fire opening to a show if I've ever seen one. Not
I
to
know.
pat us on the back too hard, people, but
I had to ask the controversial question because
it's
again, most people may not see, you know, when you get married, like this obligation, but for men, there's an obligation. When you have kids, you're obligated to take care of your kids. You know what I
well,
mean?
that's what I
So
worry about with the legal marriage. I think what you and Joe were saying might not be off of one another. And correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, out there, but maybe he was saying like as far as traditional, he meant like within the eyes of the state, because that's really where I'm at. I'm not opposed to marriage, like committing to a woman forevermore, creating a family with her. I like that concept if I can find that unicorn. But there's just no reward in it that I see from signing this dotted line with the state, now bringing them into our relationship forever, because it's all risk. All that does is bring a bunch of risk into my end without any upside potential. Why would I sign up for that? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, when you do it to the government, it's never good. I would never get married to the government.
Nah. Well, tell me one reason you would. That's what I've said to men lately. I'm not trying to talk you out of it, guys. Sell me on it.
Yeah,
What are you potentially benefiting from that you couldn't have
yeah,
otherwise if you didn't do that? Nothing that I could tell.
because the government basically, in my opinion, I could be wrong about this, but it seems like when you go to the government, they will just incentivize the women to leave you essentially.
Now that's where we're getting the rubber hit the road. So what's happening when you do that is, even if your woman is a saint of a wife, at all times, Big Brother is sitting there whispering in her ear saying, if he's not the Prince Charming that you remember when you met him in the beginning, your finances have hit a rough spot. He's farting in his sleep, whatever it might be, that he's just not looking so great to her. Well, just dump his bitch ass and I'll take care of you financially till your kid's 18. You don't even have to go find another man. I'll be your man, Big Daddy Government, till your kid's
Yeah,
18. Just dump his bitch ass. That's all.
yep,
That's what you're gonna
yeah,
do. I'll take care of you financially till the kid's 18. So yeah, that's what they're incentivizing them to do to us. And
yeah,
women initiate a divorce 80% of the time. Over 50% of marriages are ending in divorce. So statistically, it just seems like you're signing up for your own end, if you ask me.
yeah. Sean
Told you I was
says
wrong,
marriage.
bro. I don't like to
Yeah,
report these things.
yeah. Sean says marriage is a religious institution. If you're not religious, it doesn't serve a purpose. Really, I agree. Yeah, when you go through the government, it's not really traditional in that sense. Dangbud says women getting married is expected. Women getting married is expected. They feel pressure to do it. Then they absorb all the financial benefits if it doesn't work out. Exactly. Exactly. So let's bring it back full circle to what we was talking about. I'm gonna play the video of Justin Waller
Mm.
and what he said. Now I'm gonna play it through StreamYard because a lot of times when I upload the video through the internet, it screws up the stream like a lot of the time. It like boots me off for some strange reason. It freezes up on me. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
play it, but I'm letting you guys know you're watching. It's gonna fade out towards the end, and I'll just reiterate what he said, but you'll get the idea once you watch it. So
And this
check
is one of Andrew Tate's buddies, right? Like that's the
yeah,
kind of like status guy we're talking about here, folks, more or less,
yeah, exactly. So here's that clip here.
Signed up every man on the planet and you said, hey, listen, I got this red button. Nobody's looking. Nobody's going to judge you. You can sleep with other women and then go home and hold your wife and tuck in your babies and provide and be a good husband and father. Every man on the planet would look left, they'd look right, and they'd hit.
Yeah,
So
bring us
basically,
home on that one. What was he saying?
yeah. So basically, what he's saying is, if every man had a red button to go sleep with other women and then go back home to their wives and provide and tuck in your babies,
And wife would
each
never
man
know
would look
about it.
left.
What?
Yeah,
Nobody would ever know. Okay.
yeah. But he said like they'll look left, they'll look right, and then they'll hit that button, right? My thing is this: is that I'm not going to say I disagree. I'm just going to say that I don't think men should do that. And so, because there probably are men that would do it, whether you're rich or poor, doesn't matter. There are men that probably would do it because men just like women, period. Aside from the ones who are obviously homosexual, whatever. But I'm saying overall, in general, men tend to like women, period. Like it doesn't matter if she's a 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. It doesn't matter. Well, there's no tens.
There's many
But
betas out there for every woman.
exactly, right. So lots of men that like women. Overall, men just like women because women have what men want, right? So the idea that a man presses a red button, I would argue, I'm not saying he's wrong, but at the same time, again, I just don't think men should do that because if you're willing to just cheat on your woman, you gotta think about how that lays down to your kids. Again, if you're not being honest and saying, "Listen, I
That's
love
it, man.
you,"
You're deceiving her. You're not giving her informed consent in the matter. I can't see how that's not going to dog her out in some way, shape, or form somehow. At best, it's just never going to become like on her radar. But even then, it's like, dude, I don't want to be doing things to my woman or behind her back that I don't feel like I'm proud of or that I could stand behind. If I can't even talk to her about it, then what the fuck? What am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Hiding and like putting on, changing my shirt and taking showers before I come home so I don't smell like the other broad?
Yeah.
You look like a
Yeah.
fucking 15-year-old kid.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that because I don't like to do that. Like, don't get me wrong. I've been in situations. I have been in situations where my girlfriend was one way, and I would like the other way to the grass that he said, "Don't add me."
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
No, I know. I saw Megan say, "Add me on." The chat saying no. So we have a consensus here.
And by the chat, we mean the ball buster himself, my brother Sean.
Yeah, we'll bring people on in just a second. Give us a little bit, and we'll bring you
First
guys
hour is
on.
the age of men, Megan.
Yeah.
Second hour, we bring the women in. We can only handle so much of you ladies.
Yeah,
Us
she said, "Add me
misogynist out
on."
here.
Now she's trying to be a supremacist. She said, "Add me on. I'm a Christian." She's trying to be a supremacist over here.
Oh, appealing to authority. God, wow.
Yeah,
That's a woman
yeah.
move, Megan.
Add me on. I'm a Christian. You want to bring you on just because you're a Christian? What do you thought this was? Affirmative action?
I'm a Christian. That's what they all say, Megan.
I know. But yeah. So this is what I mean. I know that Mark was saying that he wouldn't do it. He would stay loyal. And Mark, I saw your comment. What I'm saying is this: I'm not saying that men should do it. I'm saying that there are men, especially men who think like Justin, who or have a certain status. They probably would do it. But honestly, I don't think most men should. This is the reason why I'm not disagreeing. And what I mean by I'm not disagreeing, I'm saying that there are men out there that do want that. And the reason why I say that is because look at how men are today. They watch pornography. When they watch pornography, what are they watching? They're watching multiple women as if they want multiple women. So there are men that may press that red button, but I don't think men should do that.
Yeah,
So
man.
I hope you guys
I would
understand
actually
what I'm
say, you know what? I can understand why there's a lot of men out there like those guys because it seems to me, who is not at all at their level, I'm probably never going to get anywhere near there, frankly. I'm fine with that. From the outside, a lot of those guys, when they talk that way, it's at best feeling like there's a lack of respect for women in general, and at worst, like a resentment or like almost like now, like I'm gonna treat them like shit because maybe they were treated that way when they didn't have anything, and then now they're successful. They've worked hard their whole lives to finally get some attention, and they got all the leverage now. All the bitches coming around and stuff. They're gonna make them all fucking pay just like they used to make him. It feels like that,
Yeah.
you
No,
know.
it's true.
I don't think you can morally ground that because he's making no mention of the fact that, like, all right, let's say you're gonna have like a polygamous situation. At least a friend of ours that's doing that, he preaches like, don't be going out and having sex with anybody you're not wanting to make your wife of your kids and stuff. Like at least that, which I'm not like personally on board with, I can see the morality that they're trying to ground with that. This approach, promoting this or claiming this, is just you're going to create baby mamas. You're going to create children that are going to have to deal with this situation because you wanted to fucking bang some strange. Like it just seems very immature to me.
Yeah.
Irresponsible, not to mention irresponsible.
Yeah, and it's like again, I understand the top 1% or the top 5% of men that want to do this. Again, if you're not gonna marry those chicks and like you have a wife, but then you have your girlfriend, it's almost like you have like a business essentially. You have your main chick, you have your two secretaries. If she's not your wife, I don't understand why you would need a wife and a couple of girlfriends to serve you. I mean, maybe I'm not getting it. Maybe I'm missing something. You know,
You're
but
just
at the
there as a
same
piece of
time,
ass at that point, right? I think that's what you're trying to say. It's not like anything
yeah.
serious.
Yeah, exactly. So again, I think it's better to build a foundation where it's God, Christ, man, woman, children, and you build a foundation on that, and you have your kids have kids, and so on and so forth. I think having this whole multiple women thing, because if a woman gets jealous or the man gets jealous or something like that, and he ends up getting her pregnant because he's trying to keep her or she wants to keep him. It's this back and forth thing, and now you got kids growing up with single parents, and you're just adding on to more degeneracy with the women having, you having these single moms out here. Now they're moving on to this guy having a kid with that guy. It doesn't work out. Now you got all these kids. I would argue in today's time, you got a lot of kids out there with multiple moms and dads. That's so confusing. You know what I mean? That's like more confusing than a man trying to identify as a woman. So
Yeah, it's
sorry,
on that level. You're right, man. Just this mind fucking.
Yeah, like sorry, YouTube, but we're just honest.
Hey, YouTube, lighten up. No, we love you, YouTube. I would never talk bad on you when I'm on here.
I always, honestly, man, I always say stuff, dude. Like, even on my streams, I'll just be honest. If they take me down, it sucks, but I'd rather be honest than like have to lie, you know?
I've tried to rate it in because on my first podcast, I was a pretty egregious idiot. And I was, at some point in the show, it almost became like a tagline. People in the audience were like encouraging me to do it. I'd be like, fuck YouTube. You know, like, just find a way to work that in there every single time. Fuck you, YouTube.
Yeah. Also, too, for all real quick, I just want to say, we're half an hour in now. I just want to say thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all who are watching the stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Do share this out. The biggest thing that helps this platform is when you guys share the video. It definitely does help out. It brings in a lot more viewers. We can have these great discussions. It really does help out. So definitely hit that like button and share this out.
Those are the two things you can do. That engagement and sharing. And by the way, we can't ask for any more from you guys as far as engagement goes. You make the shows. I love seeing the chat just lighten up. I love it when it's like right now, I can't even keep up. And that's a good problem to have, you know? We appreciate you guys.
Yeah. And also, too, we will be getting the Rumble very, very soon. So
fuck YouTube.
Yeah. So appreciate you, Real. I appreciate that. He said he shared to his Telegram. Thank you for that.
He's the man.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing a Rumble, so we're gonna make a Rumble soon so that we can be on YouTube and Rumble. So in case we get anything spicy going on, we'll just kill the stream on YouTube and go straight to Rumble, and we can have all the fun on there and talk about whatever we want on there. We can go balls to walls. You know what I mean?
We'll tell YouTube. We can just say, YouTube, it's time to eat a dick. We're gonna go carry the after party on over at the cool spot. You guys can stay over here on YouTube, the tyrants that apparently decide that they know better than what you do about what you can hear and say. Or you can come hang out on the new platform that we're going to try to build up in hopes of destroying this one.
Exactly. So
stay tuned.
Yeah, Dang Bud said the Crowder route. You know what's crazy with Crowder too, Steven Crowder. I think he's like, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the top streamers on Rumble. Him, I think even Sneeko beat him out.
Sneeko's killing the game. Dude, Sneeko's been killing the game.
He definitely beat out Crowder on the stream. It's pretty crazy. I think Nick Fuentes is going to be on his way up pretty soon too. Pretty interesting stuff.
Well, that's when you know it's a free speech platform, when Nick Fuentes is thriving.
I know, dude. He's definitely killing it. Like he's killing it a lot, which is pretty crazy. I mean, I know he has this whole Graper thing. I get it. America first. I'm behind him on. That sounds weird. I'm behind him. I'm with him on America first. Yeah, no, yeah. But yeah, I'm with him on America First all the way. He actually followed me on Twitter, which is pretty cool. He has like, I think he has like 3 accounts. He has Love Groiper or something, Cozy Knicker, and then he also has, I know his name Cozy Knicker is so funny. And then he also has
PTSD, dude.
And he also has Autumn Groiper, which is pretty cool.
Good for him. So, good for you, man. You're killing the game too, dude. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my partner in crime. Julius successfully completed a Rumble challenge of streaming. What was it? 5 days a week, 2 hours minimum every day, for a full month in a row, right?
Yep.
And so he's got tons of content over there on Rumble right now for you. Tons and tons. A month worth.
No, it's cool, man. And just real quick too, I mean, if anybody does recognize me from Rumble, it's cool that I was able to get the Rumble engagement as well. So I appreciate all those who checked me out on Rumble. So I appreciate that. It's pretty dope. So can't wait for round 2. Okay. We're gonna move on to the next thing. So again, so in conclusion, I disagree with Justin Waller. I think there probably men out there that would like to press that red button to cheat. I don't think men should. I think I agree with Sean. We have to strike down degeneracy, and we got to
Yes.
start leading by example. Again, if you want multiple women, let the women know that up front. Don't try to do it when you guys are together and then you get married and have kids and then you go cheat. I honestly, just real quick too with that, if your woman is withholding something, I'm not trying to say like express your feelings. I'm not saying that, but you gotta speak up, bro. Like you gotta say something. You gotta lead. You gotta say something. Like, hey, woman, what's going on? Like you gotta say something. Don't just be quiet and go sneak off, and
Don't accept it in
whatever.
quiet silence. Yeah, man, that's your death now. And you would
Yeah,
deserve it at that point, I would even argue. You're the man. You got to start fixing things. You got to be the proactive one, taking care of her crazy ass and keeping her in line. That's what she wants you to do.
yeah,
Hot take, I
exactly.
know, ladies. That's what you guys want us to do, whether you admit it or not.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Even
what I'm saying.
yourself, you
Like,
might
don't.
deny that sometimes, but you know that man that reins his girl in. When you see it, you're like, oh. How
Yeah,
can women
'cause if
not
you
want that?
Yeah, if you don't say, I mean, again, I'm not trying to say like, because women always, females always say, I want a man to feminine side. It's like men don't have a feminine side. We don't have that. We have a masculine side, and we're gonna lay down the law. If you don't lay down the law, then what are you doing? Like, what authority do you have? If you don't lay down the
None.
law, you have no authority in the home. So you gotta say something. Don't like, oh baby, please. No, don't do that. Just be like, hey, woman, come here. I want some loving.
You know what? I noticed you've been a little cold towards me lately, so that's going to change right now.
Yeah. I want some loving, woman. She actually might, fall in line with that. Ooh, look at him manhandling me.
Take those pants off and shut up for a second.
So yeah. Do you have any last thoughts on the Justin Waller situation?
Yes, I think that guys like that are kind of really, really missing the mark as far as I'm concerned. They seem to be very immorally trying to help men get like the leverage in the game, get into a position of power and whatnot. That's their advocates for men. They call that. But I would disagree with that being advocates for men. What you're doing is carrying a resentment that you have from your past when you were overlooked by women or whatever happened to them. Something evidently must have happened because now it's just all about gaming women for their own short-term, selfish, lustful gratification
Yeah.
at the expense of the women, the children, the society, the STD-ridden penis you might acquire from all this kind of thing. All that, it's not even mentioned. Not even mentioned. Like that's irresponsible.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah.
good message to be promoting to anybody. It's not helping anybody in the long run.
Yeah. Because again, the whole thing when Red Pill says, especially when Red Pill says like, again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm a little beta. So I know if any other Red Pill watches this, I'm just saying when you tell men to sleep with 50 women in order for them to know female nature, you don't have to sleep with 50 women to know female nature. You can know that without sleeping with them because a wise man, shout out to Richard Cooper, he says, always pay attention to a woman's actions and not her words. So you don't need to sleep with women and try to like woo them to hear that. No, just pay attention to her actions as you are engaging with women, like when you're around friends or you're networking for your business, wherever the case may be, or even on social media. Just watch how they move, and you'll start to see female nature. One thing I notice a lot, especially on social media, man. I maybe again, I'm not trying to be mean, but I've noticed this every time I go on Instagram, every time I go on Facebook. I notice this a lot, even sometimes with Twitter. You'll often see women, whether they're conservative, liberal, independent, doesn't matter. They always have this moment where they have to take a selfie and it's very seductive looking. Now, you can call it's just an innocent picture. You can call it that all you want, sure. But at the same time, it comes off very seductive. So it almost makes one wonder, who is this for? Because
It's
you
for the,
gotta think.
it's for getting
Oh, go
attention
ahead.
from someone. We can agree to that. Otherwise, they would wear it to bed at night and on Sunday mornings when no one's around. But they don't. So it's for the attention
Yeah,
from someone.
yeah.
That much we can conclude. What's he say? Shout out to
Real quick,
Julius,
Sean.
who's going to be a future Orthodox Christian. Calling it now. Amazing.
Sean trying to get me to convert. No.
Sean and I had a great conversation about all that last night. He might sell me on
Yeah.
it someday too.
No, listen, honestly, man, I'm trying to just live right and do right and be right. That's my motto for my whole entire life. So, whatever, if I can go in a direction that leads me to that, then hey, I'm all down for it, because I'm quite frankly, I'm really tired of living in a society that wants to sleep around with everybody. I don't like that.
It's
You know what I
not.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that, because the average age that male and female lose their virginity is 17. And the fact that you have 18 through, I believe it's 25, if not 28, of women who are having more sex than men,
Bro,
because
that we're
those
upside down.
women,
That's that right there says it all, man.
yeah, because those women are having sex. I'm not saying it's the top earners, but they're definitely having sex with men who are earning a certain level of income. The
A
men
very
who are
small
making,
percentage of men at the top are fucking all the broads, and the broads are fucking a lot lately, apparently, according to the stats.
yeah, and then if you use apps like Tinder and things like that, it's funny. What's funny too is that they say that men can sell women the dream, because the lifestyle things like that. I will argue women can sell the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, they can sell the exact same thing. Just take a good selfie seductively. Boom, that guy is swiping. They sell you a dream that she looks a certain way on the surface, but then once you read the book, you're like, man, this is not what I thought it would be. So
And you know what, though, man? That to allow yourself to be the type of man that could be seduced by such a thing as a selfie and not put off by it, which is how I would be. I would never want to be with a girl that's putting herself out there like that, and I would try to explain to her why. And if she couldn't understand where I was coming from, or at least empathize enough to like try to work with my feelings about the matter, then she's not the girl for me. But most men go looking for girls that are doing that kind of thing because they're pathetic and weak. And guess what? The women sense that when you're coming around because of that thing. They're
yeah,
gonna resent you. They're gonna use you and exploit you in every which way they can. And frankly, I can't even blame them because you're letting them. Stop being so
exactly,
pathetic.
right there, what you just said, because you're letting them. Jules says, "What do you think is on higher demand, the snatch or the D?" I would argue the snatch,
The
because
snatch is
again,
a commodity. The D's free. There's plenty of D around. I mean, the commodity is the snatch.
yeah, because men like women. Period. They like women, and men will sink. That's why they always say. I know it's such a you know rhetoric to say, but men will date down and women date up. So the fact that men are willing to date down, there's a more high demand, meaning that they will go look at the bottom of the barrel just to get some. So there's a lot more high demand with that, because men are just horny nowadays. The pornography has made men horny.
Well, listen. Every woman on earth could get laid by at least there's some options out there for every woman on earth, no matter how gross she might be. But there are a lot of men out there that ain't even getting noticed by women, let alone access to them.
Yeah.
The P.
Oh, and also too, OnlyFans, because you got men who are desperately subscribing to OnlyFans. So there's
Yep.
definitely a high demand for women on OnlyFans.
And real quick,
Sean,
shout out for my boy again. His new brand Tonight with Julius will be launching on OnlyFans soon.
so real quick little side note,
Only
because my
Tonight with
name,
Julius. Only Tonight with Julius.
yeah.
That's what it is. Right?
So because my name on social media and today with Julius, we have this joke about my OnlyFans, and it's called Only Tonight with Julius. Only tonight.
Yeah. And we
Sean
charge
says,
premium for that content,
yeah,
ladies.
I know. Sean says, well, also the women doing these things are also more likely to be down than the ones covering their heads before they enter a church. The one you talking about, like the 304s, essentially, right? Uh, Joe said, I disagree with the caveat that real men are in high demand. Oh, interesting.
Who said that?
Well, Joe said, he disagrees with the caveat that real men are in high demand. Um, here's the thing. It's like, if you're talking about, like, because when you're talking about like the real men, right? Like, who exactly are we talking about, essentially? Because if that was it, if men were on high demand, that would mean that the men who are invisible to women would now be visible. That would then mean that women are looking more to get married. But right now, marriage is on the decline. So if they were on high demand, they will be staying with their husband. They'd be wanting to get married more. You got women who are still wanting to be boss babes more than they want to be stay-at-home mothers. So I would argue that the demand is on the women because of the. You got to think pornography. Men want to go to pornography to look at women. Men go to OnlyFans to look at women. The fact that and Rollo Tomasi, shout out to him too. He called this out. He said that dating apps are on the decline because more women are doing OnlyFans. So there's a high
Ooh, wow.
demand. There's a high demand for women. So you
It
see what I'm
always
saying?
has been.
Like,
There always will be, man. They're the ones
yeah,
that carry the children and are the gatekeepers. Men are just trying to get a chance to get in the gate to plant seeds. Like that's just what it is. Most men gotta prove of worth to a woman because we were talking about this last night. Oh, Sean said.
he said, yeah, the provocative IG posts of models, etc. Exactly, because women. That's why I said there are lots of women on social media, not only just to self. There are lots of women who, for years now, who claim to be models, but all their link tree just goes straight to OnlyFans now. I mean, like that's pretty crazy stuff. Like it's just it's insane, and it's advertised a lot on the fact that more people are looking at all this stuff. It's on the Instagram Explorer. Like you can't even find the news no more on Instagram Explorer. You gotta like type in its own category because now it's
Bro,
showing like fights, it's showing women, it's showing
yep,
crazy
I
like
literally
cheers.
can't avoid fucking seeing ass shaking on my IG, and I block everyone I come across because I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I can't avoid it. It's ridiculous.
And then also too, with people that you follow, if you follow people that are posting those type of things, then that algorithm starts to come up in your Instagram Explorer. So if I follow somebody who's talking about black people fighting doing this, or women does this with whatever her sexuality, now that pops up in my Instagram Explorer because these people are talking about this. So I don't
Hey,
know. It's just crazy.
you see what Kim, you're always so funny out there.
Nick,
Oh
should I
man,
get a
Kim's back.
OnlyFans?
Should I get on OnlyFans? Why would you ask that question?
Dane Bud says even creepier are the men who are cool with their wife being on OF or being cam girls. Yeah, look at Adam 22. Adam 22 is allowing his wife to get like, dude, he has a reality show now. He has a reality show where they're picking men to bang his wife.
No way.
I'm dead serious, bro. There's a reality show where he's like, it's like all these different, and the men who are in this, dog, they're mostly black dudes. That's the sad part about it. That it's like I haven't seen a white. I don't think I've seen one white dude. I think they're all black dudes, bro. Like they're all black dudes, and that's like
You right.
sad because he already let a black dude bang her out, and now you got this reality show that you're allowing other black dudes. And what's so sad is that it's black dudes who are signing up for this.
Man, oh, what a state of affairs, bro. That
I
I
hate to
think
throw
I
the
read in
race
the Bible
out.
somewhere that that's a sign that this is the end. This is the revelations, man.
Yeah,
When
I
you
hate to throw
start
the
having
race
shows where you're
out, but
what did you say he's doing? He's literally auditioning black dudes to bang his wife for a reality
well,
TV
not
show
just
now.
black. I mean, he's auditioning
Yeah, I know they're
men.
not gonna specify it's just the black dudes. I'm just in my head.
Right. Yeah, he's auditioning men, but the men that they picked, I think they're all black dudes.
You
Like 3 or 4
can't make
black
it
dudes,
up, right?
something like that. It's just so I'm laughing at the chat. Nobody wants Megan on. That is so funny. I'm sorry. That's just hilarious to me. Megan's
No,
like, have me on. Everybody's like, no.
I gotta say, Megan, I really dig that young lady because she's like our little sister on the Age of Men at this point. And like when we say these kind of things, it's out of love. We're teasing her, and she's always hanging around. She's always going through it. She is not. She's cool, man.
Yeah. So give us about 10 minutes, and then we're going to start to bring people on. I want to talk about this next subject here. Now I'm going to pull this up on Instagram. So if you guys know who Jess Pearly Things is, Jess Pearly Things, she came up pretty fast on YouTube. Hopefully this won't disrupt the internet while I check this, but she came up pretty fast on Instagram, and she has these crazy tweets that's making women just freak out because she's talking about women who get older. They're not, they're not as pretty as they were when they were younger. And you got all these older women, and it's so funny too. Listen, I don't agree with Pearl on everything, but she's definitely disrupting the narrative. And what's funny is that when she talks about the fact that older women are not the same as they were when they was younger, a lot of these older women will send her pictures in her comments, say, "Look at me, Pearl. I'm fantastic at 40. I'm fantastic at 50." It's so crazy that the amount of coke women do, it's just bizarre. Like, you're trying to prove to a 26-year-old that you're better than her at 40. It's
Rank me,
just,
Pearl. Rank me, Pearl. Like,
and
woman,
you know
what do
what's
you
so
care?
funny?
You're a grown woman. This is a young lady. Like, who? What do you?
Bro, here's what's funny. They'll make fun of Pearl and say, "Oh, she's trying to be a pick me. She's just a pick me, right?" But yet, here you are trying to show your picture.
They want
You're
her
trying to
approval.
prove
They
to
want her
her.
approval. They want the pick me's approval. You can't make it up.
Yeah, it's like you're calling her a pick me while being a pick me. You're
Well,
like, "Look
well,
at
be the
me,
pick me
look
for
at
her.
me. I'm great at 40. Pick me." It's like, I'd rather be a pick me than a skip me.
That's what I've said. I'd rather be a pick me than a pass me.
Exactly, dude. It's just bizarre, man. It's like, this is why I always say, I'm starting to realize this now. When people say things back, you don't realize that you're the exact same thing that you claim to hate. You call her a pick me, but you want to cope by showing her a picture of you at 40 saying, "Look, I'm fabulous." You're acting like a pick me. It's so bizarre, dude. It is crazy. So I say that to say that there was this post by EV Magazine where, again, Pearl was mentioning the fact that women are not the same when they're older as they are when they're younger. And I commented and said she's not entirely wrong. And a lot
I
of
like Pearl a
people,
lot. Like you said,
yeah,
she's not always saying it,
yeah,
but I like her. She does some awesome like stir up shit. Like this, I just love that she's doing that to women. Frankly, they
yeah,
need a stirring up.
she's not. I don't agree with her on everything,
No,
but I don't mind some of her tweets because she's not wrong in a lot of the things that she says. But people get on her because she's not married. She's becoming the thing that she even doesn't like. She's becoming that boss babe. She ain't becoming those things. I will say that.
sure.
She's got her own business. She's making her own money. She is becoming those very same thing. But I don't mind some of her tweets, man. I mean, I don't mind it. Sometimes people can say things that you're like, "Oh, I agree with that." Sometimes they can say things when you go, "I don't know. I don't agree with that." So let me,
I like her style because she's good at stirring the pot and she's willing to say the things that ladies need to hear. And being another
yeah,
woman, delivering it to them, it gets them worked up. So that gets the story going, the situation going. Um,
yeah.
what,
Sean said, you can't say you like Pearl, guys, and women will explode. I know. Well, so speaking of people who explode, we're going to read the comment I put, and we're gonna look at all. And mind you, dog, all I said was she's not entirely wrong, though. That's all I said, and yet I have 267 comments below that one comment. And
Julius is a little pot
everybody,
stirrer himself, folks. I mean, this guy's been started up once or twice on the internet.
yeah. Sean said she's a provocateur. She is. She does say things that gets people going. But at the same time, like, there are things that I agree with her on. I'm like, okay, she's not wrong about this. When she says things like 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds, I'm like, I'm
That's
not gonna
weird.
go that route. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna entertain that, but you do
here
you,
or there.
sister. It's,
I don't know why you wouldn't say at least 18, Pearl. I'm not sure what the point was to go to 16, but not
I
signing off on
know.
that.
So okay, so here's the post here on Instagram. I'm gonna play the video. So, as you guys can see, it says, "I love watching old women." So this is a quote from Pearl. This is what Pearl was saying. "I love watching old women seething at the fact that their beauty is pretty much gone. Stop
Mhm.
crying and accept." Right. And so we're gonna play this video in a second, but this is what the comments said from EV Magazine. She said, there's a new internet phenomenon that women hit the wall at 35. Now, I will argue it's an internet phenomenon, but this has been around for a long time. It's just that now it's on the internet. So she's right about that. It said looks aren't everything, which I disagree because according to Pew Research, now I know sometimes things can be skewed, but according to Pew Research, men look at physical, women look at financial. So,
Bro, looks are almost everything at first for a man.
yeah, true. So it says.
All right,
So
I'll say it. I'll put it out there. Call me controversial. Shit.
yeah. So I mean, I know, right? According to EV Magazine, looks aren't everything, but we should be inspired by women's beauty, not awaiting for the day for it to expire. The latest commentator to go viral for her hot takes, like this one, is Hannah Pearl Davis, known as Pearl, who is proud of her comparison to Andrew Tate. If you don't know who Pearl is, head to the link in the bio to read her background, her rise to popularity, her worst takes. There are many. Now, again,
Already
yeah,
editorializing to try to spin her into a bad person. Let's go.
exactly. Like she may have some takes that I disagree with, but I think for the most part, she's saying things that's not all the way off. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting to me. So let's play this video here. Again, this is Pearl's quote. I love watching women seething at the fact that their beauty is pretty much gone. Stop crying and accept. And then here's what they.
I love that side of Pearl, by the way. That's the side of Pearl I love. Comments like that.
Yeah. So they show Salma Hayek at age 57, right? And we'll talk about this. We're just gonna kind of blow this. So Salma Hayek at age 57, Anne Hathaway at age 41, Shakira at age 46. I forget her name, but she played in shows like she was in this TV show.
Something. It's a very like Mexican or something.
No, she this actress right here. She was in the X-Men show called the Gifted. She's been in other things. I just forget what her name is, but she was in the X-Men show called The Gifted. So this is her at age 40. Then I forget who this is. I forget. I was gonna. It's not Kate Bosworth, or not Kate Bosworth, but what's her name? I forget the actress's name, but whoever this woman is, she's at age 40. Right, it's her at age 40. The chick that played in, the black girl that just showed, she played in Black Panther. Now she's in her 40s. I forget who this is. She's age 44. This is Jessica Alba, age 42. So okay, so now we just went through all the women, right? Now, if you guys saw a common theme with all that, right? Nick, just all the women that we saw, what's the one thing that you noticed on every single one of those women? What's the one thing that you noticed?
They're all showing off way more skin than they should for their age.
Yes, that too. But something that's a little more obvious. If you had to like take a huge guess, like what is the most obvious thing you saw with all those
plastic
women?
Surgery?
No,
I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention. I was distracted by the chat. Maybe I'm like, this is the right question for me at this.
Yeah,
but right
here. He said makeup.
Oh, dude, yeah. I don't even pay attention to the makeup women anymore. That's probably why I didn't notice, because like they're fake. It just feels like a fake. It's deception. Just going back to the thing, I wouldn't want to be cheating on my girl or whatever because I don't want to deceive her. That's the same thing women are doing to us with that makeup and shit. What are you laughing?
I'm not saying that out loud.
Titties. Big old titties.
Yeah, so okay, so yeah, so now let's go again, right? Now again, they're trying to show all these celebrity women, right? Mind you, these are all of them at an event with makeup on, wearing dresses that show their cleavage. Like, you're saying that this is beautiful, but Salma Hayek, I mean, she's a beautiful woman, don't get me wrong, but she has on makeup. She's wearing an outfit that's showing her breasts. Like, it's seductive. This is what I'm talking about. It's seductive. Yeah, she's 57, but she still has makeup on. You see the little like blushes right here, the lipstick. Like, they all have makeup, right?
Bro, not to mention all the Photoshop they're probably going through on the red carpet. Like, you know what I mean? These people taking those pictures aren't just not like gonna Photoshop that shit and make them look perfect.
Exactly. There's gonna be some type of there's gonna be some type of Photoshop to it.
It's
So
all
again,
fake, and that they probably look nothing like that when you go home and see them naked. You're like, oh!
yeah, like see the whole makeup right here. You can definitely see it. It's all there. Like they're all posing. Like they're showing all these women with makeup on. But yet, how about you show these women without makeup?
They
This is
would
why I think
never.
this is why I think this is very deceiving because you're gonna like one up Pearl and say, "Oh, look at all these beautiful women," but yet all of them had makeup on. Show them the way TMZ shows them, and
Here,
let's really
let me see
see
you. Let me see your natural beauty. I'll wait.
exactly.
I'll wait.
All right. So here's my comment here. I'm gonna highlight here's my comment here. I said she's not entirely wrong though. Like that's literally what I said. Here,
That's all you said.
let me go like this. Let me blow it up just a bit, and hopefully it will. Hopefully you guys can see it. Can you guys see it
While
pretty well?
doing that, you know what's this is just the end all be all for this argument. If you ask me, you know what I find most attractive, and I think most men would agree whether they realize it or not. Fertility.
Yeah,
Therefore, youthfulness is better than age. That's just what it
yeah,
is. It's nature.
yeah. I agree.
That's all it
Um.
is.
Okay, so let's go to some of the comments, and then we'll bring people on if you guys want to join. But let's go to some of the comments. And mind you, all I said was she's not entirely wrong, though.
You didn't even say she's
She's not entirely
entirely
wrong,
right.
though.
You just said she's
Yeah.
not entirely wrong. That's enough to get him going.
So here are all the comments. Right? I'm going to go through every single one. And I did reply to some, but let me go through all of them. Not all of them, but let me go through most of them. And let me show you guys what people said. There was never really an argument to what I said. It was all just people just coping. Like they were coping, they were seething, all that kind of stuff. Like it's just so bizarre how people got so triggered because I said she's not entirely wrong. Just it's like what Sean was saying, you know, it's like the fact that I'm saying I like what she says is making people freak out. They're like, oh my God, oh, you got God first in your bio. Oh. It's like, bro, if that's your argument, then you have no argument. So
Exactly. That well it tells you they're godless. That's all you need to know.
I'm trying to see if I can
While
to
you're
the
doing
very
that,
beginning.
Kim, my dear, you're out there instigating as always. I love it. And you're asking, what do we want them to do? Wear a plastic bag and reading glasses? I would prefer that over the look that they're showing there.
Yeah, so
It's more
here's
natural that way. It's not fake. It's not a front. It's not
yeah.
an image that's presented to try to make her out to be something she's not. I want my girl to be herself with me.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. It's not that we want you guys to wear a plastic bag like eyeball like eye hole poked out.
I
That's
do.
not
I
yeah.
do.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would just slightly disagree. But
Paper bag is my preference, but
yeah, here's my thing. My thing is this is that if you're a woman and you feel the need to make yourself to beautify yourself, you know, every day, there's a reason why you're doing it, especially if you're single. There's a reason why. And I just don't understand why women just won't admit because who else is going to find you attractive when you put on makeup? It's going to be men. So you know that when you put on makeup or you wear a certain outfit, especially like because now you got to think, okay, with the rise of pornography over the decades, right? Men are going to start to have weak men, in my opinion, are going to start to have this idea of their fantasy woman. So if you're like this, you know, if you're wearing a certain outfit that looks like you're going to be taking it off in like the next scene, you know what you're
that's
doing.
easy
You know,
pickings.
like
That's my mark tonight.
you
That's what
said
they
what?
think. Then the men out there that are just looking, they're like, okay, that's my easy pickings. That's my mark tonight. That's my prey. I'm a
Yeah,
fucker. That's about it. That's all. That's all you're doing when you present that way. You're
it's
inviting that
funny.
kind of thought about yourself.
Yeah, it's funny too because when women make a comment about other women, you know, in favor of men, that they get called a pick me. But yet these same women who wear makeup, wear certain outfits to get male attraction, is that not the definition of pick me?
Well, that you know what that dude, that's one of my pet peeves. Frankly, it's like, are we not trying to be mates with people? Do we not want to be pickable?
Yeah,
What are you
and
saying?
hold on, Nick. Well, hold on, Nick. But that can counter the argument because now what you're saying is that are we not trying to be mates? That would then say, well, shouldn't women wear makeup and certain dresses to find a mate, right?
I think that's a false advertisement, and that's not going to result in a true mate that goes the distance with you. It's going to build your foundation on fraud.
Right, but if you make the argument that aren't we trying to find mates, then the women's counter could be, well, that's why we wear makeup and wear certain outfits because we want to find the best mate, right? Would that not counter the argument?
Yes, but I would say that those outfits are not going to find you the best mate. They're going to find you the best dick. You're going to be the best piece of ass for that guy, and that's not going to be good for your long term. And you're going to likely create kids. You're over sexualizing yourself and artificializing yourself in such a way that a man's not going to have he's not going to be able to take you seriously. Not a good man.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then you're not going to have a husband that looks out for you. A real husband would be like, honey, you look like a fucking streetwalker. I'm not going to be seen with you outside. Please change. You're my wife.
yeah,
I can't
because
walk around with you looking like that. I wish you didn't want to walk around looking like that either.
it's like you can't want. I'm trying to put this in the right words. You can't want the best mate while being the worst bait. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, you can either be a wife candidate to a man or a piece of ass. Those are two very
Yeah,
distinct things to men, and they'll take either way. Like Paulie once said, the baby laugh, we'll love them both, but like in very different ways.
yeah. Okay, so here we're gonna read some of the comments here. So one comment said this, and I'm not gonna read all of them, but just want to read you guys some of the comments that were said because again, there wasn't really an argument here. Mind you, all I said was she's not entirely wrong though. One person said, if she's right, then you're expired by now. That was one person's comment, right? Saying I'm expired. Um, and one person said, respectfully, I'm trying to understand something. How do men view their wives as they age? Shouldn't women continue to take care of their bodies and faces still? It just seems like there's almost this contempt for women over 40. It makes me sad. Now, my response to the first comment was men and women are not the same. And what I mean by that is that men usually peak when they're older, women peak when they're younger. And that's just biology, bro. It's like when men tend to get more successful as they age, women start to look at them more. Women who are younger with fertility, right? To be able to have more babies and things like that, that's when men look at them. But as they get older, their bodies are not the same. So yeah, they can look a certain way, but their body doesn't operate the same way as it did 20 years prior. You know what I mean? So that's why they're
Bro,
and most
geriatric
people,
pregnancy begins at 35. That's when the doctors tell women you should not be trying to have kids once you get past this point, and it can be very dangerous and risky. Like that's the facts of it. That's medical.
yeah,
So women early on are blessed with this value that men want the youthful fertility. And men aren't going to ever get that youthful fertility unless and until they work a lifetime and become successful through that lifetime and starts hitting their stride around 40 or so. Until then, they're not going to ever get the time of day from those women, mostly. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's just two opposite ends of the spectrum because we're two opposite complementary pairs.
yeah. And so now this person who goes by are you pilled or are you pilled? This person says, I know men and women are different, but even in the men category, you rank the lowest. Your bald head isn't helping either. The girl will the girl will still go for a handsome older guy, just not any man. And I'm just like, I'm not bald though. Like, I don't wish this person got the idea that I'm bald. You know what I mean? Like,
These bitches go reaching for any insult they can dream up. You know what I mean? It's so funny.
yeah, I'm
I
not
love
bald.
when the mom turns to Julius because this is like the most decent guy
Yeah,
I know. He's like
see? I
just
got
a good
hair. I'm
guy,
not
and they
bald.
turn on him so often to try to eat him alive.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. And so I said I'm not bald, and this person says, okay, my bad. Your hairline is a bit off, to be fair. I said false. So false.
Well,
So
that's Julius's double, his doppelganger AI. That's not even Julius.
I know it's so crazy, but I mean, but even still, like go watch my live stream when I'm not wearing a beanie. I'm not balding or anything like that. Um, one person said, "quote unquote," God first incels when they have to respect women, a creation of God. It's like, bro, there's no argument to that. Like, what is the argument? I'm supposed to just recognize women are pretty just because it was made by God? It's like they were made through the rib of Adam.
And you know
So
what? Satan was made by God too.
I know there wouldn't be women without men. So
God made everything good and bad in this world. Doesn't mean anything to me that they were made by God necessarily. It's if they're keeping to God's tenets that He wants us to follow. That's the important part. Not that God made them. God made everybody. He gave us all free will, the right to choose to go with them or not.
yeah, and what's funny is that one person says when I said she's not entirely wrong, one person said yes she is. It's you males that age so poorly. So yeah, you have some males like males may age poorly if you don't take if nobody takes care of themselves, both will age bad. But the difference is that look at Al Pacino. You know, he's in
Bro,
his
men don't age poorly. We age like wine to women. Women love older men that are more established because they need a protector and a provider, and young men can't do that.
yeah. Well, but to be fair, there are men that don't take care of themselves. That there are just men who don't go
Most
to the
men will
gym.
always be like that. You're right. They will become, they were bad and they just become worse as they decay. But the men
Right.
that they want to take care of them are hitting their stride as they get older. They age like wine. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
where you find those men that they're looking for. Not when they're like 20. You can't
Yeah.
establish a career and anything to build off of that. You don't have time.
Yeah. And again, also too, again, look at Al Pacino. He's in his 80s, and yet he's in his 80s and he had a baby with the chick who's 29. Now, granted the fact that there is context behind the woman who's 29 because she tends to look for sugar daddies, but be that as it may, the fact that he can still produce a kid even at 82. So
Yeah. We don't
we
have
can
that
still produce
window.
a kid. Yeah, and it's like women can't do that. Like when they get older, they just have more complications because their body's
So
not the
women have
same.
the value up front, man. We don't have any. They're inherently value. They got a good deal in the the deck there. Yes,
Yeah.
that's true enough. But they're on the clock. We're not.
Yeah, and so this comment right here said, "If she's right, then you're expired by now." And it's like again, I want to make this point for people anybody who's watching this and sees this comment here that I made. Every single woman that this EV magazine that they showed to go against Pearl's quote here, all of them had makeup, all of them were on the red carpet at an event. Pictures could be photoshopped, which I
Supermodel actresses at the top of their millionaires' careers. Like, come on, it's not the average woman.
yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Oh well, don't get me wrong. I would argue the average woman is wearing makeup like that, not at the top of where they're at, but they are wearing makeup just the same.
They're
My
being
thing is,
influenced by those people. Yeah, but these are like the best representatives they could find of these old broads. You know what I mean? This is the cream of the crop. They're not like just
yeah,
giving you an average sample size off of the street of the average age like that.
yeah. So when this person says, if she's right, then you're expired. Disagree. I'm 37 years old. If I came up within the next year and my lifestyle was different, more women will start to look my way because they're still like, oh, like if I started showing the fruits of my labor, which I don't like to do stuff like that, but let's say I did, I would get more DMs because now they see, oh, he's flying private jets, like he's flying, like again, he's affording private jets, he's affording boats, he's able to go travel, he's meeting up with this person, oh, he's with Andrew Tate, oh, he's with this person of status. When they start to see that, they're like, he must be something in order to be in this group. If I'm around who people recognize, now I'm a somebody. And I've always said, well, not always, but I came up with this. When men have nothing, women see nothing. When men have something, women see something.
That's exactly
You know what I
right.
mean?
When you have nothing, you are nothing. You literally don't blip on their radar as a man. We're used to that. So suddenly, once they fall, and this goes back full circle to the guy. What's his face? Mike Waller or whatever. Like suddenly, all of a sudden, when that
Justin
man,
Waller.
Justin, when he has something after having worked for a while to get there, he suddenly he knows he's something because you can feel the difference in the attention you're getting and all that. You know what I mean? The pursuits and all that. And I think they just are like a kid in a candy store and they just go wild with it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like get to. Hold on, so let me do this.
Bro, Kim is going nuts. Everybody, you guys are wild in the chat tonight.
Well, what's going on? Hold on. So I
know
can't
me,
see
I'm
the
usually
chat.
down to read almost anything. I don't even know if I want to read some of these out loud, bro. You take a look.
Yeah, for some reason, so for some reason, it's not allowing me to see other.
All right. I'll say it. So Kim,
yeah,
basically to sum it up, because there's a lot of you guys out here. Y'all got some witty jokes too, but I'll just Kim said something like, Nick, you lick my lips because you don't want me to wear lip gloss or something like that. And Dank Buds, witty as he always is, replied, which lips? And apparently he read the minds of a bunch of our other friends in the chat there. And it looks like Kim might be trying to find out, or this is probably an insult trying to rip on him, if Joe's a woman. And Joe is saying he knows a man named Kim. And it's just going to hell. And I love watching every second of it.
All right.
Our little Asian Man family out there is getting real ratchet. This is why we need the Age of Men. This is why you guys are here. This is why we do this show.
Here's what we'll do. So we're gonna open up the chat now. Anybody wants to hop on? The link is now
Kim,
in
my
the
lady.
chat.
Kim, please come on. I'll treat you well. We've never actually done that. We could have fun. Alex, you explain your lip gloss need. Maybe as a reasonable, caring man, I might hear it out. Might land it.
Hopefully Megan's still in the chat. If she's still in the chat,
oh shit, she's been quiet. She probably got a little annoyed that we didn't bring her on. Sorry, Megan.
No, but we said we were gonna bring her on. It's just that we wanted to get through the topics of tonight before we bring people on. So see, here she is right here. See that she here.
Oh, little sister, right on cue.
What up, Megan?
Hey, what's up?
You're glowing. What up? Did I see that you're dating that dude that you were supposed to call?
I was just joking. Okay, I was just joking.
Well, you're calling him tonight then.
Yeah, real quick, just so the audience to get to know you, Megan. Let the audience know who you are, name, age, occupation, all that good
body
stuff.
Body count. No,
and if you want to, your body count.
No, make it.
No, but age, name, age, and
there are people who I've killed.
So yeah, name, age, and occupation. Yeah.
My name is Megan. In 9 days, 11 days, I will be 23. Occupation, I am a college student about to graduate in like less than 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy, but I'm also like a little small business owner. And then of people I've thought about one.
What do you mean?
You said what? You got COVID. You got the Rona. You got the Rona.
No, I'm just eating dinner right now. Whatever steak I just consumed before hopping on here is really salty.
Nice, girl. Well done.
Okay, so you're about to turn 23 in 11 days, you said?
Yes.
Graduating in 2 weeks. So you got a lot going on right now, I bet.
Yeah, really crazy to think about.
We're proud of you. I gotta be honest, I didn't think we'd ever see, we didn't see the day. So
what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just busting your balls.
I mean, neither did I, but
I gotta be honest, I had some hesitation, some reservations about it. No, I'm just kidding, Megan. You're a very smart young lady.
K-Trains.
Oh no, K-Train.
Y'all gotta stop, man.
Yeah.
Not our little sister, guys.
It's supposed to be the house of Lord here, all right? The house of God is supposed to be.
The government.
It's the house of whores.
The government said to stop eating meat.
Damn,
wait, hold on.
All right,
I'm eating my dinner right now.
Is that beef or is that pork?
It's a sirloin.
Okay, because Bryce has been enlightening me on this, but in the Bible it says that you're not supposed to eat pork.
No, that's a fact because they say they eat of the chuff or something, which is like the mud and shit on the ground. They eat anything. Pigs eat anything. So you're eating like the garbage.
That's like in the Jewish religion, like Old Testament scripture.
Well, that still counts for the Christians, right? You don't throw that out.
That's Old Testament scripture. Like if you're like Christian stuff, we go by the New Testament.
Where does it say you can eat pork now in the New Testament?
A lot of
No, I'm
things.
not busting your balls. I'm not busting your balls. Eat that pork. Have fun. Enjoy it.
You guys are crazy in the chat.
Dude, Julius, I'm telling you what, man. It's been a festival.
She said she's eating meat on screen.
I'm not a vegetarian.
Oh, God.
It's my first sign that I'm straight.
You guys
I
are
gotta
terrible.
tell you, man. Megan, you've always been a great sport, Hud. So, like,
look at the chat, bro. She loves it.
Oh my gosh. I thought this was a
Megan,
Christian.
don't look at the chat, whatever you do.
I thought this was a
Haram.
Christian network.
All haram.
Megan, whatever you do, don't look at the chat right now.
Oh, no, I'm not. This is a Christian network.
There's an assassination going on in the chat of your character. No, I'm just kidding. Just dumb joke.
So Megan, nowadays, we haven't talked in a pretty long time. Nowadays, what is your current relationship status, if you don't mind sharing that?
Still single, mainly because like, and I'm about to graduate, and then I'm also like job hunting, applying for
Because
graduate.
you haven't come on Agent Men and called that dude that you liked that we told you, the audience, we were going to have you call. You know.
Well, I've been really busy. I had 4 exams and an 8-page paper due in 1 week. So
Okay,
that was
so your man is less important than us? The love of your life?
the love of my life.
Are you going to tell your kids someday, yeah, I would have been married to your dad much earlier, but I had some papers to get in and shit, so I just put you
I
off.
think he does too. So I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Okay. So we put the family off. We put the kids off for a few years. You know, school comes first.
I mean, I do want to adopt in the future. Oh my gosh.
You want to adopt in the future? Do you want to have your own kids as well, or just adopt it? Megan's dead. She did.
Sean said, "I thought we agreed, no Megan."
Well, too bad.
Well, listen, hey,
I do want biological kids, but I also do really, really want to adopt. So
yeah,
that's something I really want to do.
I mean, listen, we put the link in the chat. You guys can come on if you want. Last almost 40 minutes of the show. You guys can come on if you want.
Kim, my dear, indulge me. Get out here, girl. We'll
put the link again. If you guys want to come on and discuss what we talked about so far, you guys definitely can. We'll put the link here. So anybody wants to come on and share some thoughts, let us know. Latin A is in the chat, and for some reason I can't comment to Latin A. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I try to put her name, and I can't. It's weird. Like I'm typing it in right now, and I'm trying to put sup. And when I do that, it keeps saying error occurred.
Yeah, that happened to me too when I was trying to type in the chat and saying error occurred. They're jamming up the age of man, folks.
Yeah. Am I blocked, Latin A? Are we blocked?
No, Joyce. The error occurred for me when I tried to just chat back to somebody else. It wasn't Latin A. Just happened to me as well.
Okay. Latin A says
women trying to jam us up. Fuck! I
know something's going on. Latin A says women need degrees in cooking and management of home life and children, also massage therapy and how to keep a husband happy. Maybe some pole dancing lessons.
Oh, I remember because you asked me the thing in the chat. Well, I don't know if you were specifically asking me, but you're asking women, what do y'all bring to the table? I wrote down some stuff
Megan?
Dear future husband out there, he's probably never gonna watch this. I don't know.
No, you better hope he doesn't, but yeah, he will.
If anybody marries me, they're gonna get security, loyalty, free home chef, free house cleaner, free I can't believe I said incubator.
Love it. No, it's a great word.
Free childcare service, free to do stuff with, free cuddle buddy, free +1 to any event you're going to.
So Megan, what we were asking earlier, I don't know if you heard off of that before you go on.
Free seamstress.
Will you be obliging your husband, even if you're not in the mood or whatever, to be doing certain things because you have that obligation?
I feel like that is a topic that I feel people take a little too seriously. I mean, obviously in the future when I'm married, I'm obviously going to want to, because, he's my husband.
But what if you don't some days and he does? What happens?
I'm pretty sure my my husband would be like understanding, like, if I was pregnant, if I was on my period and stuff.
What if he's like, I'm pretty sure my wife would be understanding and like just bang me?
Not on my period. That is disgusting.
Well, that's a reasonable thing. Sure. But like,
Yeah, outliers don't make the rules.
yeah, let's say like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good hypothetical. Let's say like you're just tired from work or whatever, and he's like, honey, it'll just be a couple of minutes. I just want to make love real fast. What happens in that situation? And you don't have to be too detailed or graphic. You know what I mean? Just stick around the edges.
Well, hold on. Before you answer that question, let me ask this.
Ooh.
And I asked Nick this question earlier. Maybe you caught this question. Do you think that once you marry your husband, are you obligated to pleasure your husband?
That's what I was getting at, Julius.
I feel like it's a mutual thing, but I feel like, especially like in the early years of like marriage and stuff, like naturally you're gonna want to, just because if like that infatuation's like.
Did I say that, Julius, early on when you're falling for?
Obviously, like when you get older though, like you're not gonna like want to do as much, but that's just comes like, and I'm talking about both sides, but that just comes like being.
It's not really both sides. The women's desire to do it will be much less than the males over time. Generally.
Yeah. Let me phrase it again. Without bringing the men into it, I'm asking you: do you think, as a wife, you are obligated to please your husband without doing the? What about the men though? Without doing that, do you think, as a wife, do you think that you're obligated to please your husband?
In what way?
In a sacrificial way that you're not in the mood.
In every way possible.
Some sort of sacrifice of yourself.
No, yeah. Listen.
When you say sacrificial, I immediately assume it's like give my life.
No, he needs you around. He doesn't want to kill you.
Yeah, I'm saying in every way possible.
Well, statistically, my spouse is most likely to murder me in my lifetime.
When you answer questions like this, I can see how.
Hold on. Let's not move the goalposts. Like, do you think that as a wife, you married your husband, right? That's what you wanted. Now that you're married to him, are you obligated to please your husband? Meaning, like, if he wants intercourse, you're obligated to please him. Do you think that you're obligated to please your husband?
2 points, and they both answer my question. Yes, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be like, yo, woman, get in there. You have to. I'm pretty sure he'll like, obviously we warm each other. You would like.
If there's a good reason for not doing it, he'd be understanding of that. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. He's not going to be forcing you. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's not going to be like.
But Megan, this is the hypothetical. This is the extreme scenario. Is that your responsibility as his wife?
That's what I'm trying to get to. Because on all these extremes, I'm just saying, are you okay? You know what? Let me phrase it this way. Is your husband obligated to please you?
I believe it's a mutual thing. So my answer to both of them being yes.
Okay, so without doing this time the female, I'm just saying, if you could think from the man perspective, do you think that you're married to your husband now? Is your husband obligated to please you?
Yes, just as I'm obligated to do it to him, because we're husband and wife.
Nice. Okay, great answer.
Okay, so let's say your husband comes home. It's a long day at work. You've been taking care of the kids. Long day at work. He comes home.
You've been taking care of the kids.
And let's say listen. Let's in the hypothetical situation, you guys have kids, and like you say, you have like 2 kids. He comes home from a long day at work.
Okay, at least it's not the Duggar family.
Yeah, so he comes home from a long day at work, and the kids are put to bed, and he's really horny. And you've been taking care of the kids all day long. Would you please your husband, or how would you go about doing that?
Well, let me see how I like grammar this.
And this is a great question for you to be considering in your mind as a young lady wanting to get married someday, because it's going to come across your desk at some point.
I feel like definitely like have the conversation and stuff. Because I guess from like my POV, like if
you're supposed to, you have an obligation to satisfy me. No conversations to be had here. We're doing this or not.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
No, I'm saying no.
Well, hold on. Did you say that your answer was that you want him to talk to you about it first?
Well, first, I'm pretty sure, like, we would, like, I would, like, ask him, like, how much, like, does he really want it? Like, it's because, like, I can imagine. Like,
yes.
Hold on. Let me clarify. So
hold on a
You want your husband to come home from a long day of work and go, you know, I had this thought on my mind, and if it's okay with you, okay, can I fornicate with you?
Yeah, that's beta as fuck. But worse than that, the last thing I'm trying to do after coming home from work and wanting to bang my woman is her having to talk to me about it. Some shit.
That's what I'm saying. So you want your man to talk to you?
I would
And
sooner
mind
go
you,
to bed
mind you,
with no conversation and
this isn't
sex.
this isn't a question of like trying to be nasty. I'm just asking an obligation. I want to just be clear. We're talking
Right.
about obligation, right? So as an obligation, because okay, little context. We talked about obligation because we were talking about the Justin Waller situation, cheating and things like that.
I was gonna ask
You know,
about him like later.
yeah. Well, yeah. We'll get
Yeah.
to that. Let me explain real quick. So with Justin Waller, we talked about cheating because if you happen to cheat because your wife is withholding sex, is there an obligation as a wife? So I just want to make that clear. So now I'm asking you, Megan, is there an obligation for you to please your husband, or do you think your husband is supposed to come home from a long day of work, working 12, 16 hours, however long it is, and he's supposed to talk to you about pleasure?
About why he wants to make love to his woman. And, it's just like, you know what? Forget it. It's not that important tonight. I'm tired. That's what I would do in that situation.
I don't know if this is just something in my head, but I feel like if we both had a long day of work, first thing we both want to do would probably cuddle.
Hold
No.
on. Why? Okay, yeah. See, you're saying that if we both had a long day at work. See, this is an issue I always see with women. It always has to draw back to me. If we're both tired at work, why are you working? You should be at home with the kids. Full-time mom, not part-time.
Oh.
Well, I mean, being a full-time mom is work. You just don't get paid for it.
Facts.
You do.
But-
hold on a second. Hold on.
Being a
You
mom is a
do
job.
get. Hold on a second. You do get paid. You're just not seeing the cash in your hand. But the fact that you have a roof over your head, the lights are on, the fact that you have a bed, you have a TV. Oh, there's cash in your house. It's all through the materials. Just because it's not in your hand, doesn't mean you're not getting paid.
Well, imagine if I did get paid for all those things and, theoretically we were to go 50-50 on, utilities, all these things. And then, he has like extra spending money. It's like, we
I hear what
never
you're saying.
had that money to begin with.
I hear what you're saying. So
I don't get what she's saying.
Well, she's saying like the
No,
Imagine-
I do. I'm just saying like I just don't care.
Megan. So it's like I really try to be like gracious with you ladies about this because and with men too when this arises, like you guys can't ever fathom like how we see things compared to you so differently. I'm the last, again, I'm not trying to be mean when I say these kind of things, but literally the only other last thing I want to do if I come home from work than to have a long conversation with you like that is cuddle. Like that's the last thing we're trying to do in those kind of situations oftentimes. We're like almost exact opposite of you guys. So like,
Yes.
and I'm not trying to sound like cold about this. It's just, if he's going to, this is where the rubber hits the road. This is always my main talking point. If he's to be your leader and provider and protector, and you're going to jam him up by trying to have a conversation, what are we doing here?
Because look at.
He's
Because
supposed to be a lead. Doesn't he have authority?
Yeah,
Don't you
the fact
trust
that
his
you
authority?
said cuddle, I would argue that when you said, "Oh, if we both have a long day at work, we should just cuddle," that right there, you're withholding something from him because you want him to play by your rules. Cuddle with me, but he's like, "Hey, I had a long day at work. I missed my wife."
Cuddle with my dick.
I'm pretty sure he wants to. He wants.
I'm not that explicit, but
Wouldn't you
Cuddle
want?
these nuts.
Wouldn't you want to foreplay first? Like warm. Like
see.
Wait, what did
me,
she ask? I didn't hear. Megan, can you ask
me,
that one?
what I want. Me. It's about what I want.
I missed it. What'd you say?
I said, wouldn't he want to, like
No,
foreplay
that's
like,
what you want to do. No, that's what you want to do. He comes home, he misses his wife. He says, "Hey, I had a long day." He's like, he brings you close to him. He's like, "I missed you," and you're gonna go, "Let's cuddle first. Tell me why you want to touch me."
Do you really need it that
I'm not
much?
gonna
Is
push
that
him off,
important to you
man.
right now? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it and why? Can you write me a short essay? Let's cuddle in the meantime while we talk it out. Bitch, I'm going to watch the TV while I
Text it
fall
to
asleep
me.
on the couch.
just text it to me.
I'm going to pass out on the couch after I drink a beer or some shit. No way are we doing that right now. Like that's what he's gonna say, and frankly, the reason he's gonna say that is because at that point you become so dejected. Like, man, she says she wants me to be the leader and all that, and the man, but she just takes my balls from me every chance she gets by these kind of things. She never lets me like take the
reason I say this is because this is the most like personality thing. I'm probably gonna marry someone who loves football just as much as I do. So first thing you probably want to do is watch some Monday Night Football. I'm not.
Yeah, I want to have the game on the background while I bang out my wife. That doesn't mean we can't bang. Come on.
Okay, I got a question now. I got a question now. What if you found the right guy, but he just didn't like football? What if he was? You gotta think. Women do want a man to vibe. It's a vibe, right? They always love that. It's a vibe thing, right? They always love that. So what if you guys connect on every level, right? He's just everything for you.
I feel like you bring up the extreme situations. What if he doesn't like you?
Megan's like, I feel like you turn the screws on me, Julius, a little bit.
I'm just saying, like he checks all the boxes, but he's just not that big of a fan of football. Like he doesn't mind if you watch it. He don't care if it's on Saturdays or Sundays. He don't care, but he's just not into it because he's a provider. You know, he likes to fix things around the house, likes to get work done, spend time with his wife, but he's just not a big football fan. Is that a deal breaker?
Not exactly.
What if he roots for your rival?
That'd be even more fun. They're like a house divided thing. That'd be so much fun, honestly.
That just told me a lot about your personality. That's interesting.
Well, that tells a lot about women actually, because I would argue
feel like
that
nowadays, like ever since the rising political climate, people don't take like oh, you root for this football team. Like no one takes like as seriously as they once did. Now it's all like, oh, you root for this other team, boo, but like in a joking way. So like it's honestly not that deep.
You guys are horrible.
Hey Kim, bent over the counter while you're making my food. You're close. You're on the right track. You're thinking right, but
you guys are horrible in the comments.
We're multitaskers.
I can cook a lot of things homemade, like completely from scratch. So
text, sandwich, and silence. Those are the 3 foundational things that if you're doing those, we're going to be all right.
I'd make a sirloin. What are you talking about? That's like some.
Okay, sirloin, sandwich, and silence. That,
like
sirloin and silence, whatever. That could work too.
All right, so just to be clear, Megan, do you agree or disagree that there's an obligation for women to please their husbands?
I feel like you're asking the wrong person.
Well, it's good to consider, at least to know where you're at. Ruel in the house.
What up, Ruel?
What's going on, y'all?
What up? So real quick, I just want to be clear, because I haven't. Megan hasn't made her point. So, do you agree or do you disagree that it's an obligation for a woman to please her husband? Do you agree or disagree?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool. You agree. All right. You agree.
Could we take it one step further though? Like, she may have more obligations in that regard than he does because he has obligations in the regard of protecting and providing for the family that she doesn't.
Yeah.
So is that how she makes up for it a little bit, by being a little more submissive and sensual when he wants to be, even if she doesn't?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, that makes it an equal value exchange. That I want women.
Yeah, it's gender roles
like that.
That is
That's a good point. You said?
I said that's some fancy wording.
Oh yeah. It's called sensibility and airtight logic.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Ruel. Just to go on the first thing we was talking about with obligation, right?
He's gonna say yes because men are horny.
Well, hold on. You can't answer for him. Are you trying to answer for a black man? Are you trying to say a black man can't speak?
What I'm gonna say,
as a Latino woman.
Are you trying to talk for a black man? What are you trying to say? He can't think for himself?
Well, I'm a Latino woman.
That's a racist Republican.
Mandingo. That's all that's going on.
Young lady.
I
thought we were past this in 2023.
Well, I'm a Latino woman, so it's neither racist nor sexist.
Actually, it is. It is, because you're not. I mean, I guess you could say you're a person of color because you're what? Cuban. So you're a person of color.
She's what?
I mean, because technically she is Cuban, so she will be a.
She white. Come on.
Yeah. She's the white version of Cuban.
She white.
No, I just haven't seen the sun in a good bit because it's been raining every single day here.
Okay, so to Ruel.
So what were you gonna say?
Yeah. Okay. So question is just real quick on the obligation thing, right? Because again, context. Justin Waller was basically saying that men, if they had a red button, they would cheat. And I'm saying that, and I don't think men should cheat because if a woman is withholding something from him, I think he should speak up, not be on his feelings, but just speak up about it. Do you think that when you get married, there's an obligation for the woman to please her husband? Because we've already established that there's an obligation for the man to protect, provide, whether he's sick, doesn't matter. He's still going to go to work and provide. So do you think because of all that, there's an obligation for the woman to please her husband?
100%. Am I?
Base, bro.
100%.
Oh man.
Like I know a lot about Islam. Well, I know a lot about a lot of religions, but for Islam, it's like the woman is obligated to please the man. However,
Don't bring
the
Islam into
man
it.
has to take care of business too, just like you said. Like the man has to be providing, has to make sure all the bills are paid, stuff like that. So it's a give and take. And if the
Yeah.
woman isn't taking care of her business, then I guess the man can get another wife. Like you can do
Somebody
that.
will.
in
Yeah,
Islam.
he'll find somebody who will eventually, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I would argue the same thing when, like, a man loses his job or something like that. I'm not saying women won't be ride or die, but there are instances where the man loses his job. He's like trying hard to get back on his feet, and because they're kind of like it's not how things used to be. Now her hypergamy kicks in, and now she sees the other guy who's on his purpose. Things are going well, and now the grass is greener. Next thing you know, she's cheated.
Well,
Go ahead, Megan.
you mentioned Rollo Tomasi earlier.
Yeah.
If you ever read the Rational Male, he kind of says like, okay, when you're married, it's almost harder because you still have to kind of have that threat of like, hey, I can walk away from this in the marriage, so that
And
the
she
woman
can ruin me if
continues-
she does.
Right, but you still have to have that threat so that the woman continues to blank you. Like,
Oh
and that's
yeah,
what he
because they
says
don't
in
ever
Rational
expect
Male.
that. They initiate 80% of the time. So they don't expect it from the man. They expect us to ride or die because we usually do. So it has to be on the table at least, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If
Well,
she's
I
gonna
don't-
behave improperly, then I'll leave.
And it's exactly what he says. Like, it has to be on the table, or otherwise, like, you just get ran over.
Yeah, it's like Trump with his nuclear weapons. He had to end up solving all the wars, stopping them all because he had that threat on the table and nobody wanted to fuck around and find out.
Right.
And now we have
He's
Joe Biden.
willing to
He's
pull
a
the
short
trigger if
man.
needed. Go ahead, Megan. Go ahead, young lady.
Now I was gonna acknowledge what Julie said, just because again, like, from like personal like experience, because you were talking about like if a man loses his job. This is why my mom like not argued and stuff, because like my dad like wanted her to like have her career and stuff, to have like that extra income, because 10 years ago he actually did like lose his job, and for a while like it took him a while, like a month, for him to like find work again, just because I'm not going to say, because I'm not going to get political.
No, but yeah, we got
my mom had her, her job and stuff. So, like, while he was searching for a job, like, her job was pretty convenient. She's a school teacher. She worked at
He
private school.
supplemented you guys during when he was out.
And my sister and I, we went to like the school that she worked at. So, like, if there was any emergency, like, we were in the same place. And, so during the time that, like, my dad was looking for a job, it wasn't like to emasculate or anything, like, not even close, but it was like, I care for our family, and if you're in this, situation, at least I have this, so that all of us can, like, still be on our feet and like have a family to take care of. We don't have to worry about like finances while you're, looking for a job again.
Yeah, but that's like more of like the exception thing, where it's like obviously if the husband's not able to work at that moment, even though he's currently looking, okay, it might not be hard for him to get a job, right? He's currently looking. If the wife steps up, there's nothing really necessarily wrong with that, because the moment he goes back to work, if they're still raising their kids, she can go back to nurturing. So that's like more of like the exception, not the rule.
Well, I guess
thing.
during that time, like, I was 12, my sister was like 16 and stuff, so we were like a bit, older, not so much like in that nurturing phase and
But
stuff.
so my question is, are you using this very, very like merited situation to justify working when you don't have to be doing that in the preparation that there might be a bad time that comes about where he gets fired? Is that what you're trying to say? Like, I should be working just in case he ends up not having a job at some point?
Well, I mean, anything honestly could happen, but we also don't want to be in that position where, like, you know, my mom, like, she's a stay-at-home mom and stuff, doesn't have like any prior work experience, and then like this happens, and then we're in a
But
pretty.
aren't you kind of like planning for disaster then, and rather than living in the expectation? We'll address that if and when, God forbid, we ever come to such a thing.
I
But
guess
we should
more
be
so
planning
like,
for disaster.
well, it's not more of like that. It's more of like hope for the best, but be planned for the worst and stuff, because anything could happen at any given moment. Because when he got fired, it was completely out of nowhere. Like it wasn't something he really saw coming.
But being planned for the worst, you could just all hands on deck. We'll figure out how to get through this time until Dad finds a job again. But I don't necessarily think that we have to compromise Mom being away from raising the kids at home.
Well,
With
during
the
the time, like my sister and I, like we were already like, you know, at school age.
but just doing that because of the worry that this might come about, because that doesn't seem to be like a sound game plan. My game plan is we're going to go out and we're going to win and we're going to be successful and productive. And God forbid we lose and I lose my job or something at some point. We'll audible. We'll adjust the
I
game
guess
plan
like,
at that
you don't
moment.
want to have like that mentality that we feel like we're always going to win, because obviously, you know, life happens, and
Yeah,
and
and we
in our-
audible,
in
yeah,
our
but we go in with the
situation-
game plan of winning and executing properly and not losing, right?
But also at the same time, I mean, he didn't really.
You don't game
see it
plan to
coming.
lose, right? You don't game plan to let them score points, do you?
It's not really a game plan to lose, but I mean, again, stuff could happen out of pocket, out of nowhere. He didn't think he was going to get fired, and
Oh, I know that, Megan. But if and when that happens, we'll cross that bridge. But in the meantime, how about you stay home and raise the kids? That's the most important job.
I mean, she did for like until like my sister and I like were 3 and stuff, and then you know it was time for us to go to school, and she was a school teacher. Do you think it
May
depends
I
on like? Do
interject
you think it
real quick?
depends on like what the occupation is and stuff, or do you think only men should be working every single occupation out there, even as a hairstylist and a makeup artist?
I'm not
Okay,
saying
let
that.
me let me interject, and this is a question for both you, Megan and Varel. Let me start with Megan first. Do
Men go
you?
first.
This is the Age of Men podcast, but this question is directed towards you.
Featuring
'cause
the
it's
one
based
woman.
on- do you plan on getting married?
Yes.
Okay, when you get married, let's say the dude you with, he's making a decent amount annually, and you're in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the average annual salary, I believe, in Florida is about like I think somewhere between like 30 and 60,000. And
Probably
so
taxes
let's
are going up.
Median is 48.5 or something like that for the country, so it's somewhere around
no
there.
for the country, but I'm saying because you live in Florida,
Florida's a little
specifically-
higher up, yeah.
Yeah, so
Property
their
taxes are
annual,
going up, too.
but I'm saying their annual income as of 2023 ranges from 30 to 60K, right? So I just looked this up because I was watching something in the video and I did some research on it. So let's say you found a man who's making up to 60K, right? That's the average annual income, unless he's an entrepreneur. But let's say you found a man who's making decent money. He's had his job for quite a long time, and you guys get married and to have kids. Would you be a stay-at-home mom, or would you choose to work?
I'm a little on the fence about
Great
this,
question.
because although like part of me does kind of want to be like the traditional like stay-at-home wife and stuff.
Party is a modern woman, huh?
Well, yeah, no. Well, hold on. Let me hear Megan out real quick. Yeah.
Because I'm using like the example of my mom, and this is why I'm sort of like on the fence like about this, because like although part of me, you know, wants to be like that, you know, experience like that traditional like womanhood and stuff, part of me also wants to like, because my mom, like, there's a reason why she chose to be a school teacher, because she actually got to teach in Christian school, and you know, if you're a teacher, your kids usually get to go to school for free. So like, you know, at no cost, like my sister and I got to go to school in a Christian school, like.
Well, that's a big perk. No, you're right about that.
Yeah, I didn't have to, you know, pay the price of like private school tuition, and you know, we had a Christian education, so I wasn't like indoctrinated or anything.
No, that's definitely big.
And I guess part of me also, I mean, I've been on like, I'll be frank with you, like I've been on dates and stuff, and I mean, I told them like what I want to do is like a future, you know, job. Like I'm right now looking for internships at the Department of Child and Family Services to like, you know, help children in those like, you know, compromising situations. And I mean, I've gotten pretty much all of them have given me like really good feedback, saying like, wow, that's like really amazing that you want to go into that, want to like help children. I feel like there's certain jobs that there's a reason why like it's predominantly like women
No doubt. Your caretakers or
specific-
nurturers, like statistically, for sure. But
yeah,
we want you to
specifically
do that
being
for our
teachers,
children.
and
How about that?
I mean, I
No, yeah. So, yeah. Hold on. So, real quick. So, sorry to cut you off, Megan. Let me kind of just bring it back before you start to drift off to something else. Real quick. Yeah, real quick to Latine's comment. She says 60,000 isn't enough, but in America, nationwide, the annual income is like about that much, right? About 40.
If that's not enough, then you're not living within your means. If you're a average median income person, because that's above the average for the
Dave
country.
Bud said male hairstylists only have husbands. That is a fact.
Well, that's a fact. That's just a fact.
Yeah. So anyway, but in Florida, as of 2023, the annual income is between 30 and 60K, right? Unless you're an entrepreneur, then you're in the top 1%, right? Making 100,000 or more, right? That's why I asked the question, Megan. I understand what the jobs are. I get all that. I'm just saying, your decision. Would you rather be you get married, you got your husband, you guys have kids, a kid or kids? Would you be a stay-at-home mom or would you go to work?
I would stay at home until they're old enough to like start school. I mean, I'm not
about 3 or 4 or so.
I started 3K at like 3 years old. And my mom was a teacher at the school.
Julius, let me throw 2 wrinkles on this that might make it interesting. What if your husband thought it was very important to have you be the full-time stay-at-home mom?
Good question.
I would more so like ask why. I guess because like I know for a fact like I could
wearing the pants, bro. Can't make it up.
Yeah, because if you're marrying a husband, if you're marrying your husband, or a guy to be your husband, whatever the case, how you put that. But basically, you get married, and he wants you to be a stay-at-home mom, and you tell him, "Well, I'll be a stay-at-home mom until the child goes to school." So your
leader's telling you that he thinks this would be the best thing for your family that he's tasked with leading, and you're still not going to even consider that. You're just going to do your thing.
Well, that's a conversation we have before.
That's a conversation again, dude.
Right, but
a lot of these scenarios.
But even if it's before, he's telling you that I want to stay at home mom. I don't want to put my kids in public school. I want to raise our kids with the values that we have so they can be productive members of society. And you're going to tell him that I want to work until they get to kindergarten, and now I'm going to go work. Now you got the government raising your kids.
Well,
while you're raising other kids in school, doing your nurturing, loving thing, and not ours. No, do that with ours. That's what you're here for. That's your purpose. That's your most important thing in the world.
I plan to send my kids to a Christian school.
I want you
to raise but these days, Christianity ain't the same. Just like Israel,
homeschool, Julius.
Israel yesterday.
What if he said, okay, here's the scenario. This man is capable of providing for you and your family 100%, checks in every way that you could even imagine. And he thinks it's very, very important because he's worked so hard to be able to do this for the family that you just focus your intentions fully on homeschooling and raising the kids. Where are you at with that?
It's not that I wouldn't want to. It's just I would doubt my ability. Oh my gosh,
you're out.
Let me explain.
She's out, man. Gotta go.
I haven't really met a guy like with that issue. A lot of them.
They don't say this to you because look at us trying to ask you, and they sense that you would not be able. They ask like little questions to see where you're at with things, and then once they determine like she would not go for that, they just don't ask.
Right.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to hear Varel's explanation for this. So, Varel, do you think that when a woman gets married, that she should be a stay-at-home mom, or do you think that she can do it all and work and be a mother? Now, I'm not saying that they're not anomalies, right? There are anomalies. I'm not including the exceptions. I'm just saying in today's time now, with everything going on, because it's not how it was like 20, 30 years ago. It's not the same. Schools are different. Government's different. A lot of things are different now. Like the small percent of like LGBT is making a lot of this noise throughout the nation. It's like it went from USA to US gay. So what we got right now, Varel, do you think that it's better for the woman to be a stay-at-home mom, or do you think that she can have it all?
Well, to answer your first question, I think she can do it. In other countries, like women do that. However, in the USA, the expectation is that she's going to work, but you as a man are going to do 50%. And what 50% means is you do 50% of her task and 100% of your tasks. That's what 50-50 has meant now. Like, okay, that you're going to do the emotional support. You're going to be there when, she's not doing like household tasks, and you're going to do your traditional man tasks. However,
bro, that was the bar of the show by far, Ruel.
However, in other countries,
bravo, my friend.
Thank you. In other countries, women know that, okay, I got to do these deals. If I want to have a job, I still have to do my traditional role as well. So it can be done. That's what
we're getting at, man. Yeah, the males are expected to have a lot of traditional roles that they're bringing. So what do the women in turn offer that the men aren't expected to bring? That's the question.
What do women offer that men aren't expected to bring?
Not necessarily to you. I would ask that to any woman because I don't think that they have a good answer for that if they really.
I just listened to mine earlier.
Yeah, I hear you. So when you said security, how do you ensure that for him? I was thinking about that actually.
For example, for my future husband, like when I make that vow to, like, no, I'm not going to leave you when times get bad. I'm going to be faithful to you.
Yes, but that's what every woman says before they initiate 80% of the divorces. How do I know that with assurance?
It depends on the reason. Depends on the reason of divorce. Like completely exclude infidelity.
Not assuring me at all, Megan.
Well, I mean, I'm saying excluding infidelity and abuse because I'm pretty sure you would leave your wife if she cheated on you or like physically, assaulted or abused you.
Well, I'm just looking for some assurance of the security thing. Like that's not something I could necessarily be assured of as a man. Unfortunately, is all I'm trying to tell you. I'm not saying you're a liar or that you're not going to be secure. I'm just saying that that's a hard thing to assure to a man these days. It's hard to assure that to a man these days because us men are very, very vulnerable in the legal system and otherwise.
Oh my gosh, for any guy who sees like those things on the streets of like California, if you're gonna find a wife, go to Kentucky. Okay, I don't think anything's wrong.
Well, hold on a second. I gotta push back on that.
There's good quality women in Kentucky.
Well, hold on. Well, yeah, fact. Well, hold on.
Age of Men podcast take on Kentucky.
Well, I gotta push back on that. I just saw because I just went to a Jesus march not too long ago. And again, every Christian is nowadays they're different. They all don't believe the same thing. But be that as it may, in California, there's actually about, I think it said it's about like 60% Christians in California, and throughout the nation, I believe there's about up to 60% of Christians throughout the nation. So you can find a Christian in California because I went to a Jesus march. And there were a lot of people out there. I didn't see no LGBT, nothing. I just saw.
But there's also a lot of, and they make it pretty visible.
Look, the bottom line is you want to wear the pants. You just.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to kind of bring it back to was that what I understand from you, Megan, is that I understand you want to do work, blah, blah, I get that. But it doesn't, to me, it sounds like you want to do the mom thing, also do the work thing. And I would argue in today's times now, where especially now we got to really raise our children with all the crap that's out there now, I think it's best for women to be at home with their children, raising their children with their values and not trying to be this super mom and trying to do it all because a mom alone is a full-time job.
Mm-hmm. And if you're raising other kids in school and whatnot, instead of that energy being devoted to ours, that seems a shame to me if I would be able to fully provide for us so that you didn't have to do that. And you could just fully devote that to ours.
I guess part of me was just like my own like personal experience. I mean, I went to Christian school up until, college and stuff. And because, my mom was a teacher, and I was a student at the school.
But Megan, right. The ultimate thing is like, the reason I'm always bringing this up, I'm really not trying to bust your balls, is you say you want to lead her, and I believe you do. It seems to me from knowing you do.
I don't have balls, I'm a woman.
Well, he busting your ovaries.
What do you think I
said? Just busting your ovaries.
Look, oh yeah. Now I'm thinking of Megan Ball. Come on. Okay, so man, you just totally made me lose. I don't lose my train of thought that often. You just really got me off.
Yeah, let me we'll quick step in. It sounds like you're imitating. Just listen to what you're saying. It's like you're imitating what your mom did, and
I think I had a good upbringing because of
that. That could be the right move, Megan. But what I'm trying to tell you is, your man, who's you're tasking and screening to be your leader, will be the one that determines what's best, and you should try to understand where he's coming from and not just try to do your own thing, even if it's against his will.
Not really trying to do my own thing. I mean, I just haven't.
You're
really...
not submitting to him. You're not even entertaining the thought of him trying to tell you. I'm just bringing up these hypotheticals to see where you're at if you're even willing to do it.
I
You're
haven't
like,
met
oh, I gotta push back here and there. Like,
you know what it is too? I think the position of a mother does not have any value today, like society-wise. People are always saying, "Oh, she's just a mother. She's just a this," and I think that's part of the reason too.
Yeah, you nailed it. The young ladies don't. It's like a degraded position in society, not anything to be aspired to, so they don't want it. Like they almost feel like shame to maybe be thinking about it. It's weird.
Do you think it's a job?
It's like they feel like mother is like under like I don't know, like what's a terrible job?
Dude, yeah, they make you have to be like a slave class, subservient, like you're a slave now, more or less.
Real quick, guys, hold on. Real quick, hold on. I gotta address this real quick. Robert says 60%. That's a bit of an overestimate estimation for the Christians, right? Now? No, but look. No, so in Christianity, now I get that it's Wikipedia. I get that. I'm just saying this is where it says that. But even though on Wikipedia, it says that the U.S. population is 332 million. About 63% is Christian.
Bro, regardless of 60 or 40, there's a lot of Christians.
There's a lot of Christians, but I think that's a skewed stat.
It probably is.
But here's the thing. But even the Gallup poll says the same thing. So the Gallup even said that there's just that many Christians. The problem is this: is that the reason why people may not see it because we don't live in every single state at once. So just like in California, again, I was just at a Jesus march in California, and there was like
hell, it's frozen over. Hallelujah.
Yeah, there were hundreds. Well, I mean, go watch my live stream. It's on my live stream. Go watch it. Hundreds of people came out to that. Well, like I showed the entire march. A lot of people came out to that. There is a lot of Christians in this nation. The problem is
I got you. But Julius, you strike me as a strong Christian. Like, how many people just say that they're Christian?
That's what I was going to bring up. Are they Christian in name only kind of thing, or are they really Christian?
They're Christian with the group, but
they're Christians because it's cool to do right now. Maybe too. Like that could be some of them. But either way, there's enough of them. But honestly, I think this is the real point to take away from all this. You either got to decide if you're going to be trying to push back and talk everything out, which means we're 50-50, and you can't, and he's not a leader for you, or you want a leader. But you can't have both, huh? If you want him to be a leader, you got to let him lead, right? I know that's a really hard pill to accept, but you would have screened him by that point to be trustworthy and capable of it, right?
And
it's a hard thing to submit to. I get it.
Look at this, Megan. Like when the kids get to like school going age, then maybe there's like way more time to do what you want to do. Like maybe that's the time where you go out and, you know, you create your own business or you go back to school or whatever. Like the kids are in school and, you know, there's a whole block of time. So that way, like everybody gets what they want, but you just focus on the kids more that first like, 5 or 6 years. Oh, were you saying that?
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't hear that.
You're good.
Real quick. So Latine was saying that she invited Robert Tucker to the Age of Men podcast. We don't have much time because we gotta start wrapping up pretty soon. We always do 2 hours. We're looking to maybe one day try to extend it a little bit longer. We gotta just make more time for it, but we won't have enough time. But before we go, I do want to ask Megan this question because it's something that I want to do a street interview on. When it comes to women's rights, okay? And I'm curious.
Or so, I don't know. What's a Bible Belt state? Comment down below. What is a Bible Belt state?
Montana. I don't know. Idaho.
Montana. Do some Montana.
Yeah. Well, okay. So this
answers.
So this is something that I'm thinking about doing a street interview, asking women because it seems that with women's rights. They tend to in America. There's overwhelmingly women that vote Democrat, and usually when they vote Democrat, they tend to vote for freedoms to be taken away versus to vote for freedoms. So I'm curious to know from you, Megan, when you vote as a woman, what exactly are you voting for?
Ooh.
Well, first of all, I will clarify. I have never ever voted Democrat.
No,
Just to make that
I
clear.
vote for.
yeah.
vote
Hold
for,
up. I get that. I'm not. This isn't about
I'm
the
leading into what I'm
Republican.
about to say.
Yeah. I totally understand. You don't. I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
but the
as a woman,
reason,
period. As a woman, what do you vote for when you vote? What are you voting for?
first of all, I want a candidate who's pro-life, a candidate who wants lower taxes because I mean less taxes as possible because you don't want your money, your hard-earned money, going towards
Base.
stupid, programs like wasn't there like a program to allow like what was it, sex change surgeries in whatever it was. I don't know if it was like in schools or like in the military, but I don't want my money going towards that. I want to vote for whichever candidate wants to keep God in our school systems, so we don't have to always resort to homeschooling. Just because I did like online schooling for a while and I hated it. It was the worst thing ever. Just because like feeling so isolated and stuff, like
Yeah.
just the worst
Okay.
thing ever.
I guess what I'm
Basically,
asking
vote for like obviously like some people would say like separate church and state, but where has that gotten us? And my Christian
Yeah.
beliefs heavily influenced my views.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm asking is like what right are you voting for as a woman? Like, women want these rights, but what right are you voting for? Like what is a woman right for you?
A woman's kind of hard to explain because I can explain what it is for like the other side, but I don't align that way. I guess they want like the right to
Pro
choose,
choice and all that, bodily autonomy, all that shit.
stuff. I guess like I can see from someone's like perspective that like if they were ever in a situation they don't want like to have to carry a baby, to have like physical like something like that to keep like that tie between.
But you, Megan, my dear, what would you vote for, like rights wise?
Yeah, not so much vote for, but like what? Because
I don't think abortion is a right. Like I don't think we should have the right to take the life of an innocent unborn baby just because it's not wanted.
No, we are with you on the abortion.
I want
think what Julius, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what Julius is trying to understand is like your core value principles that you'd be voting for. Like,
I want
okay. So yeah,
right to choose in schools. Like if I were to like send my
like your right to vote and your right to have assistance from the government or not. Any benefit, any creation that you're going to bring into existence through the government or into the government. You know what I mean? Are you going to bring anything in, or are you going to take things out, or what?
As a woman, first of all, I love voting, which is why I will vote for whichever candidate wants to protect life, wants to put God back in our school systems. For parents who do want to send their kids to public school, that they have more of a say in like the curriculum that's being taught and stuff. I'm more of like that fight back mentality because we saw with the pro-life movement how 5 years
You're
ago,
voting for less government. It sounds like, right? To long story short.
yeah, but we can't do it
Okay.
completely, just men because like
well,
there's
two things to
not a
that.
wide margin of like men to, like a wide margin ratio to like men to women and stuff. About
Yeah, I got two things to that. When you say pro-life, I used to be pro-life. I'm no longer pro-life. Yeah, I'm no longer pro-life. I'm an abortion abolitionist.
Abolitionist.
I want to abolish abortion altogether.
okay.
Pro-life ain't
I
strong
was
enough.
like you lost me for a sec.
You
So-
just went up in her book, Julius.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So
I
I'm
was
an
about to
abortion
say.
abolitionist. Here's the reason why. Because I think that we should abolish abortion altogether, and I think we should arrest women who have an abortion. We should lock them up.
I don't think arrest the
Ooh,
people who
hot
have
take.
abortions. Arrest the people performing the abortions.
But the fact that the woman is it's like that's like saying we should arrest the
If she does it
person.
if the woman does it
Hold on.
herself.
But hold on. But that's like saying we should arrest the person. That's like saying that we shouldn't arrest the robber. We should arrest the person that drove the car. Do you know what I mean? So the woman is going to have an abortion. She's going to murder the baby. We should arrest that woman who murders the baby, and also arrest the doctor who administered that abortion procedure.
I guess
Lock
the
them all up.
How do you feel about grape though? Like, is that are there any caveats, or is it
I-
just
Yeah, let me
straight?
ask, well,
have-
yeah.
Well, Julius has no exceptions as an abolitionist. I believe that's why you made that stance, right, Julius?
I have my-
exactly. But hold on,
Okay.
hold on. Let me answer Rael's question. Yes, no exception for me, but let me answer that question real quick. Let's say you killed me. Okay, you killed me,
Come
and
on, black on
my
black violence, dog. I can't support that.
yeah, black on black crime, right? No, yeah. Let's say let's say you
Nice,
killed
guys.
me,
Well
and
done.
then my brother finds out, and
Right.
rather than confront you, he kills somebody in your family that has no knowledge of what happens. Is he justified for doing that?
No, revenge killing like that's not good.
Yes.
another.
Wait, hold on.
I would.
Wait. Hold on. You're saying that he's just so you kill me rather than him confronting you, he kills someone in your family who has no knowledge of what happened at all.
No,
He's
I would
justified for
say
doing
no.
that.
He's not. He's not
Oh,
justified.
okay.
for
So hold on.
I thought so. Really? I didn't know
Hold
if
on.
you were joking around or what, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. So you say no, he's not. So then why would we take that same justification on an unborn baby who has no knowledge of what happened, did not ask to be here, but yet we want to kill the baby, but then not kill the rapist who raped the woman?
Damn.
Well, someone has to raise that child, though, right? And
Sure,
I don't
but
know
this
that
is the
we
reason
can
why
So
we
you're
have
make it.
implying they're
facilities.
better off dead.
Guys, let's
hold on. But this is the reason why we have pregnancy crisis centers that can help out when we have organizations. There's literally an organization here in California that will help out women when it comes to those situations. Or if it's a situation where the dude left, they will help her out with food, with school, with finances. They'll help her out with all that stuff. So the help is there. So even in the instance of rape, there's still facilities that would, like, pro-life facilities that would help out women in those cases.
Now, mind you, we're saying that we're assuming that the grape is real, validated. It's like, okay,
Yeah, bro. I'm
real-
glad you added
real-
that distinction.
This is just to make sure we're saying it like that. Okay, so it's a real grape, and my thing would be, okay, a pregnancy changes a woman's body forever, and we're asking her to do that. And on the same token, we're asking someone to take care of the baby, because I mean, you can do adoption, she could put it up for adoption, but we're now asking her to change her body forever for someone who took the choice of her having her first pregnancy with whomever, or her first sexual experience with whomever.
No
I
matter
don't
what,
think
she's never going to get that
fair for
experience back anyways.
Yeah, well, but let me ask you this though.
but her body will now be changed forever.
Okay, so
having that.
let me go ahead and ask you this. All the babies who have been conceived through grape and are now living fantastic lives, which many are, would you tell them that they shouldn't have been born?
No, I wouldn't tell them that they shouldn't be born. But
So then why are we now justifying the baby who been conceived through rape that they shouldn't be born?
Like for example, I think that and this goes against my religious beliefs, but I think that people should have the right to be gay if they want to be, right? Like, where it becomes a problem is if you're like teaching that to my kid at school. Okay, that I don't agree with. But
Wait,
everybody has the right to be any way they want to be. That's how we are in America. They're supposed to have the right to be any way they want to be.
Actually taking someone's life away from them.
I can't put my religious views on someone else. I can have my religious views and keep my religious views, but I can't put them on someone else.
Wait. But what does doesn't the commandment say thou shalt not kill?
Don't shed innocent blood.
Well,
and being
there's also a question about when does the baby actually get a soul, or when is it actually a conscious being?
But now you're moving the goalposts,
bro. I don't have
not necessarily. I mean, that's a huge question.
Wait, hold on, Nick. You said what?
I don't know if I got an abortion debate in me to wrap the show, man. That's
no. I know.
This is my time now. This is my time. I got this.
I'll let you guys have at it, but don't mind me if I'm quiet. Say it out.
Julius, I got this. So, Roel, when does life begin? And this follows up into my next part because you mentioned
just real quick, and then we'll wrap up.
No, it's fine. I'm just busting balls.
Here's a side-by-side ultrasound. One of them is an ultrasound of a baby conceived through, what we're talking about. The other one conceived by two loving married parents. Are you able to tell me which one is which?
I
You
mean,
can't,
I don't. Of course, I
because they're
can.
both human
But
beings. So why
I'm
is one
not.
justifiable and one's not?
I'm saying that a woman that has
Are
been
you
in this
saying?
situation
Are you
where they've
saying?
taken
Well,
their choice is taken from them, that they got that
yeah, the grape
taken
thing is
away
an
from.
interesting thing, man. That I gotta
Wait, but
acknowledge
hold
that's an
on.
interesting
Well,
distinction. Yeah.
hold on. You said that the choice was taken from them, yes, with the grape, but the
What do you
choice
think
is
is
being
happening to
taken
the
from the
baby?
baby who's going to be born.
Well, yeah, that's a
Every
tough.
woman who supports abortion has already been born.
I don't. Since someone took their choice away, I think they should have the choice of whether they want to
Taking
continue
someone
with
else's
that or
life
not.
away from them just because they're not a convenience.
No. It's kind of like
No,
this. I don't feel that I have the
it's
right to
not
tell
that
somebody
cut
that's a
and
victim
dry.
of a crime
It's
like
not
that to
that
that
cut and
extent,
dry.
that's going to
It's
go through
not.
such a permanent traumatic
I
experience, what to do. And I know that I
Yeah,
hope
but,
that they keep the baby on that, and it's
but hold
wrong
on, but
not
hold
to,
on.
frankly. But I just
Yeah,
don't feel like I
No.
want to pile on them. They might already want to end their life.
but
You
hold
know what I
on,
mean?
Nick. But
right. You're saying just
hold
because
on.
One of
they're
my
You guys are
inconvenienced,
overlooking
as
it.
if
But hold on,
as if
you
it.
guys are.
Okay.
Yeah, real quick. You guys are overlooking the fact that there are. So this is anecdotal, but I'm going to bring this up. It's anecdotal. I met a woman a couple years ago who told me that she got raped and she kept her baby because she believed in God so much that she valued life. And her baby was raised and she's got a job. She's about to get married. And
Hmm.
she said that it was traumatic for her. And this is all true stuff. I was working Lyft when this happened. And she was a pastor to tell me all this. We were just talking about God. She said, I got raped, and yet I still have my child because I believe in the value of life. I know these pro choices will tell me to kill my baby, but I value life because I believe in God. And so her now again, her daughter's going to school. She's now about to get married. So she
Well,
valued
see, we need
life.
to get women's stories like that out there more to the general public of women to encourage them to be like that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like to
Exactly.
see, like,
I
hey,
know.
this
I
is
know.
upside, a story that could not end in tragedy necessarily. We
Yeah.
can turn this
And
into
And and
something.
and
and
I know
Joel,
a woman who's a product of that. Who's a product
Ooh,
of rape.
wow.
And but still, I would say the person who chose to do that, they're a very strong person who chose to have that person and bring them into this world besides that. But I cannot say that everyone should do that 100% without fail.
Yeah, that's one of the few gray areas. That's like one of the. I really try to be
That's
black
the
and
only
white.
area where I would say the woman should have the choice there. The
I,
only area.
I think I'm like kind of wrong for this, but like it's wrong because ultimately that fetus needs to be protected because more than anybody because they're the least able to protect themselves and the most. Everybody hates when I use this word, but the most innocent system that's ever been conceived because they literally did nothing to put themselves in that situation.
They
So that
didn't.
thing above
They
anything
didn't.
else deserves protection from me, and that's why I have a hard part. But I'm with Ruel in the sense that man, I just don't necessarily know that it's my place to be telling a woman that went through that, and I can't even imagine what she might be going through or whatever,
That's what
what
I'm
to
saying.
do necessarily. I don't. That's the one time I'm just
Okay.
kind of like
Let
I
me
don't know, man.
Okay, no. Let me
I mean,
make it real quick. I promise I'm gonna throw it to you. So you're saying that it's not your place, but you said that a woman's story where she got raped and they had a baby, we should get those stories out there. So if we're willing to encourage like to those type of stories, then it's not the same thing by saying, "Oh, it's not my place," but yet we're willing to put out the stories where they kept the baby. So why not talk to those women and do the same thing? Because
Oh, I'll talk to them and I would
we're
try to
now making
encourage
it
them,
our
but I
place.
wouldn't
We're
force
making
them
it our
lawfully.
place to do that.
I would encourage them, and I would be doing everything in my power to hopefully convince them to do the right thing and not murder the child that was conceived through all this mess. But that said, I don't necessarily think it's my place or that it would be helpful to be legally forcing our hands in any situation in that matter. I don't know. I don't. That's just one of the gray areas. I'm still not really sure where I'm at with, and I hate to be there because I like to be like thoughtful and grounded. But that's just the one time I just don't know. I feel weird about it, man.
And Latine
Uh,
brings up a good Latine in Cali brings up a good point. And the whole reason eugenics was created was to kind of Like the person who created eugenics wasn't about like women's rights. They were just doing that
Hell
to
no. She was about
get rid of
exterminating black people and
undesirable
others.
people that they didn't want in society. Like, I get that. And I'm not saying that I support abortion. I'm just saying that in that specific caveat of however many people that is, I'm saying that I don't know that that's something you can force upon a woman. That's a lot.
It's just dawned on me where my position is with this, and tell me if this makes sense or not. I feel right now that ideally I'm working in my mind, whether out loud or not, towards removing that possibility to protect that kid's life. That said, sometimes we have to compromise a little bit, and at the moment, while we're transitioning to a point that, like, I don't want that to be there on the table at all, I feel that's maybe a reasonable extension of grace right now, so to get something done where we can all agree, like, the overwhelming amount of abortions are absolutely wrong. We can all definitively rule them out, and we should ban them. This one, tough area. Maybe we'll start working on that for down the road. But right now, we can get rid of most of them, and then we'll focus. We'll leave you guys this one. We'll acquiesce to you, whatever, to get all that accomplished. But that doesn't mean we're not trying to get this accomplished too down the road. We just know that we got to compromise a little bit in business to give and take to get somewhere, and that's kind of how I feel about that. Maybe eventually, hopefully, ideally down the road, it's more about like convincing society that these are valuable lives that will come about through the natural consequence of having sex, because that's why we have sex in nature. So let's all start doing it more responsibly with the realization that we could bring about a life system and not want to have to abort it. Our society's all out of whack. We're not even thinking that way. We're debating like the nuance of the abortion. Let's focus on developing a society that doesn't even consider creating children that they might have to kill.
Yeah, let's try to do that. But how do you feel about the rapist? Do we kill? Do we get rid of him?
I think the rapist needs to be tortured in front of people on national television so to discourage others from doing it.
We murder the rapist.
That's legal in Florida now.
Yeah, because that person committed the crime. And
torture his ass on national television so other rapists getting wise ideas think long and hard before they act.
I mean,
that's my policy.
I think that's the real problem. Like if we
the trauma that the rapist like put someone through, they're gonna have to live with that for the rest of their life.
Bro, you torture them because you can't stop a rapist. You don't refine a rapist. You just scare the shit out of them. It's just like a pedophile, so they never want to do anything because they're terrified.
Hold on.
If we can
hold on, everybody. Hold on.
I make a good point though.
Get your point out, Megan, real quick.
If we can put down animals for attacking, human beings, why can't we do the same thing to human beings that have the innate ability to know better?
Because the pedophiles and the rapists are the ones in power.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hot take.
Hot take. Hold on. Everybody, hold on.
100%.
Hold on. Everybody, hold on. We gotta wrap up. But I'm gonna throw this wrench to Nick and Varel. You say that when it comes to the grape situation that you don't want to tell a woman what to do. I would argue that by allowing abortions to happen through grape, you're actually incentivizing the rapist.
Well, that's a fair point. I would agree that's a sticky situation.
Yeah, hold on. He knows that she's going to abort it anyways. Therefore, if he doesn't get caught, he's going to keep on doing it.
No, that's a fair point. And that's a really good point. And again, I want to work towards getting rid of that too. But I think the better approach to this is rather than like insensitively not concerning the woman's decision in the process. Like that's what they're going to spin it as. I don't necessarily think that's true. We need to work on refining society's perspective on all of this so that we're approaching it from a more holistic approach, like you're saying about having more responsible sex to begin with. Like that's really the approach we need to be having, like harm reduction and prevention, not abortion and shit.
I'm with you on society having less sex, waiting until marriage. I'm also behind gun rights or women's rights because if we had more guns in women's hands, we have less rapists to rape women. So again, that's why I say I also think that when you want abortions through grape, you're incentivizing the rapist. He gets away, he can do it again. Therefore, you're creating a lot more rapists who are going to say, hey, I can rape this woman and ruin her life because she's going to abort it anyways. So we're actually raising crime versus just saying, hey, we're going to help out this woman and then kill the rapist for what he did.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely a great pushback. And like I said, I don't necessarily know where I'm at with this, but I'm trying to like work it out in my head. But that's just the one gray area where I can't be black and white about it at the moment. I'm trying,
That's a
and,
tough
and
call.
again, I'm doing it more with you. So I look at it like this, bro. We
I
need
mean,
to do
how
practice.
can you say Age of Men podcast, but then kill the babies through grape?
Well, I'm not
I know
encouraging
it's a tough
it at all.
question
But
because
again,
once you
what I'm doing, Julius,
If you
is
believe in that,
realistic
you're not
business.
a man, you are a woman.
Throwing your bone, Nick.
Realistic
I'm just
business
throwing your
requires
bone, Nick.
negotiation to get anywhere. Okay, so here we are. This is the kind of thing that like Christians and others have a hard time with. I'm like, look, man, can we admit that what people do behind closed doors sexually, as immoral as it may be, is nobody's business if they're not hurting anybody else right now? We can all agree maybe that's a fair compromise to meet these people in the middle. But the T thing we could address right now and try to negotiate out. That's progress. Same with like, we can all agree that, okay, maybe you guys think that abortion should be legal. This side does. We don't. Can we all agree that there should be a cap at some point, that a certain amount is an egregious amount and there shouldn't be able to be any more? Let's be like generous to them. Can we agree that 3 abortions would be absolutely beyond that's all you should ever need? Nobody should ever be able to have more than 3. That's a good starting point for negotiation. And then we'll try to negotiate them down to 2, then 1. Then hopefully not. But like, we got to start somewhere. We got to meet in the middle at the negotiating table.
So
We
the
can't be
first
so
3
hard
humans,
we're not
Yeah.
gonna get anywhere.
I would
so the
disagree.
first 3
Well-
human beings are disposable, but the 4th one, that's where
That's
you
not
try
what I'm saying. Now you're
Yeah.
acting like liberals, spinning my
I
argument.
know.
I'm trying to
I would
be
agree with
liberal and
Megan on this
negotiate with
one.
people.
I would agree with Megan, but we do got to start.
No, but you guys
wrapping up
aren't hearing my
because
point. You're being so hardline that you're never going to get your mission done, is what I'm trying to tell you guys, because you don't negotiate.
I mean, on that, it's because I have to agree with Megan. It's like you're saying the first 3 are deplorables.
I'm
but
saying
yet
we're
the
already
fourth
doing
one-
an unlimited amount. Why don't we agree that we can start doing some restrictions? That would be progress in the right direction, and then we'll keep it going.
and that's why
What you guys are saying right now
Well,
isn't getting
restrictions-
accomplished. So you're letting
yeah.
all the abortions happen
Yeah, the
because
restriction.
you're not
would be-
negotiating. You're
Well,
letting
no,
them happen.
but-
You're not negotiating them down.
But the negotiation is still siding with the terrorists. Like
It's not. It's
negotiating
with the
terrorists.
intention of reducing it and hopefully keeping it reduced as we go through. But right now, I'm trying to take the number down because I know we can't get rid of it. You're not gonna get rid of it.
So listen. So yeah, you can't get rid of it, but if you made it
did in
illegal,
Texas.
and see, here's the problem.
But it's not going to be made illegal. We got to negotiate. There's too many people that don't want that.
But yeah, but okay. So here's the problem. Real quick, Latin.
Why
I
do you
know
need
she
to
said.
negotiate to stand up for life?
Yeah, well,
Because
hold on.
otherwise, you're not going to
Hold on.
get the bill passed.
Well, hold on.
You're not going to protect any lives.
Hold on. I want to read Latine's comment. Latine said that we'll get back to the topic. She's going to cheat. I get that.
Nice.
Normally, when it gets down to the end and we start to go off on something else, it tends to happen like that. So forgive us for that. But here's the thing. And then Robert says, once something like that put into place, it will never be lowered. It will only codify the idea into law. Here's the problem that I think the right has with this abortion issue. There's always it's always a negotiation with the left to satisfy them, and that's why we keep losing these abortion debates and things like that. My thing is that if I was like governor and I said abortion will be illegal, right? Even through rape, incest, it will be illegal to have. But here's how we solve this situation. First and foremost, you do talk about the fact that you get the stats on who's having sex as far as like abortion is made it's more elective than it is about the rape incident, because we know that rape and the incest is less than 1%. And the USA Today talked about this in 2019. They showed the numbers and they even said, and mind you, they're a liberal news outlet. They even said that rape and incest is hardly the reason for abortion. Majority of it because it's elective. So when we tell women that and we say, listen, it's about not having sex before marriage. The fact that you're doing this is the reason why we're having the issues. Like promiscuity is the reason for abortion, is the reason for STDs, is the reason the fact that America is the #1 state of children living in single parent homes. 80% of that is single mothers. So we got to limit the sex and limit the promiscuity in America. And when the situation does happen, we say, listen, if there's a situation, God forbid, where a woman does get raped, then we do everything in our power to help that woman carry the baby to term. So that if she still feels traumatized from what happened, then she can adopt. But let's adopt a next of kin, not just a random family, because you got people who are now advocating for gays to raise. You got people like Dave Rubin and Pete Buttigieg who are renting women's bodies to raise a child, do surrogacy.
They're actually being taxed taxpayer subsidized to do that. The taxpayer is
Yeah,
funding that
so it's
free,
like
quote
you want to
unquote.
do adoption. Adoption should be next of kin, the
I
grandparents,
like
the
that,
aunties,
Julius.
the uncles. You know what I mean? We need solutions. That's the problem
Yes.
with the right. There's not enough talk about solution. It's just make it illegal. That's it because I'm Republican. No, we make it illegal, but we also say if this situation happens, let's help the woman carry the baby to term. Let's hire women who've gone through what she's gone through to help mentor her through that. Let's get the family involved.
Yeah.
Let's get the
All the
church
resources, the
involved.
social
The
resources that the
community
right
involved.
hates. The
Like
right doesn't
definitely
even
get the
acknowledge
churches.
social stuff.
Yeah, 'cause
But my
not
thing, Joyce, off of what you were just saying, real quick, that's a place that I'm thinking we could all commonsensically try to come to a negotiation on. Okay, can we all agree that elective abortions should be illegal? Boom.
elective.
Yes.
We can start. We can
Yes.
start right there, and we'll wipe out most of the abortions with that negotiation, that compromise, and then from there we start to work on the rapes and everything else. But right then, if we can get everybody to agree that that's wrong to have an elective abortion, we can get that wiped off the books today. That's something that I think everybody would have to agree on, even the people that are like the rape exceptions and all that. It's like, can we all agree that an elective abortion is wrong? If it's not going to harm anybody or there's no
Elective
great
abortion?
circumstance, we can all agree on that and get rid of that right now,
Elective
right?
abortion was
Good negotiation.
Oh, like,
Wait, so what,
like you
Megan?
just wanted to
elective
do it.
elective abortion. What is?
You
It
just
means
wanted
it means not medically necessary.
right.
I hate when it's like if
Yeah.
it's behind closed doors, it's not affecting anybody, but it
No.
reality
I'm,
it is
not,
affecting someone.
I'm saying that if it's not medically necessary to save the mother's life or something for some reason, then it's called an elective abortion. It means she's just doing it because it's not convenient or whatever else that might be. We need
Also,
to
in
get
the
rid of
case-
those. I think we can all agree on that.
Also, because my sister's a nurse and she's like the first one to say because she's handling a lot of these like situations. If the mother's health is at risk, the doctors always pick the scenario, like where they can save both the mother, and the child's life. And one of their solutions is to keep like the mother on medical watch. Like, and if it's like a dire, like you have to, take the baby out to save her. They wait until like 25 weeks, which is like the earliest like a baby can, survive outside the womb.
Yeah.
They pick the scenario where they can save both the lives, but and also for everybody on the chat, like miscarriage is not an abortion. Like if the baby like
No. That's an elective abortion. That's not the same thing at all.
No,
I know,
no,
but
but they were no, but they were trying just on that real quick. They were trying to make it seem the pro-abortionists were trying to make it seem like miscarriages are an abortion. That's
They are
why
not.
they confuse with ectopic pregnancies and try to say that that's an abortion when it's not. Even Planned Parenthood says that ectopic pregnancies are not an abortion.
there was
Yeah,
a
they're
woman,
trying to convolute the argument.
there was
with
a woman
that,
though
sure.
who did get arrested like after having a miscarriage, but that was because they found drugs in the baby system and alcohol. So it was like she was purposely
Yeah,
trying
yeah. If it's
to
yeah, matter of fact, just on that real quick, in California, they're trying to decriminalize that to where they're going to allow abortions up until birth, even after that.
Post-birth abortions, yes.
Yeah, and so they were saying they were trying to make the
God,
excuse of
that's-
like,
mm-mm.
well, yeah,
AKA
but that's
murder.
what they were trying to do in California. They used the term perinatal, which means 5 months before, 1 month after. So they were trying to
Unreal.
pass a bill to allow that, and then they wanted to basically excuse the woman, saying that if she took some medication but didn't know, then she won't be criminalized for it. And I'm like, that's just an excuse to say that she can take pills to kill her baby because she decided to have irresponsible sex or whatever the case may be. So we do got to wrap the show up. It is getting way over time, and I'm sorry.
One comment from Sean. I got to get my man because this is a really witty thing. I want to make sure I'm getting her out right. He said they claim the right wingers are reducing women to incubators, yet they are doing it on the left for gay couples.
Yeah,
They're being incubators. They're being reduced to being incubators for gay couples to have those babies.
Yeah,
Can't
I
make it
mean,
up.
if you're talking about like the Dave Rubins of the world and the Pete Buttigieg,
Yeah, exactly. He's saying that the right are willingly signing up to be these incubators for these gay couples that they claim to be being reduced to by the.
I know Julian was saying like next of kin and stuff, but like if you have like no other relatives, there are like Christian organizations that could match like babies with like Christian, families. A lot of them like are people like who are like infertile.
Well, yeah, that's why I mentioned I said next of kin. I said the community,
and you can meet with them like before the baby's even born. So like by the time the baby's born, like they're immediately handed like to the family that you approve of.
So we all acknowledge, unfortunately, as minimal as we want the government to be, this is like a social cause that we need to kind of champion, right?
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean we.
Yep.
I'm a
I
little
didn't
torn
know.
on like the government like being involved and stuff because of course like I mean I'm all for like less government as possible, but I also do believe like if you're a leader, part of being a leader of a country is like
I
standing
believe
up
in
for
less
those-
government as possible too, and some of that government includes protecting people's right to life and bodily autonomy. So that's why we need to make laws like that. Yeah, government doesn't need to exist to
like they
protect those
say
kind of things.
they
If you
always
ask
say
me,
like my body, my choice. Like they want to have a say over their body, but does the baby even get a say over their body? Like
that's
every
always the point you bring up. But then they try to like obscure that by saying that's not a baby yet. It doesn't have consciousness or whatever.
they say it's a clump of cells, and I'm like I'm a clump of cells.
Look, yeah.
Well, listen, sorry, we got to wrap the show up because it's getting way over time. I'm sorry we did deviate. This does tend to happen to the end of the show where we deviate to like a whole bunch of stuff.
Bro, we got more viewers watching right now than ever, and we got to do an abortion heated debate. They're loving it. You know?
Yeah, I know, I know. We got people
The
watching.
woman in
I know.
debate
Listen,
is the most pro-life one here.
well, listen. Screw pro-life. You should be an abortion abolitionist, Megan. So
Pro life isn't extreme enough for Julius anymore. You got to go all the way.
yeah, I'm radical. I'll admit that to the day I die. I'm a radical. Abolish
dope,
that
bro.
abortion all the way. But
I
find
respect
some
that, man. I gotta say, I respect it.
I'm from Florida where abortion is almost illegal and you can kill the rapist. Great.
Yeah, but Ron DeSantis makes it at 6 weeks, and I'm just
He's
like,
going for a heartbeat bill in the next like,
yeah,
session.
yeah. But even Ron DeSantis is still.
I guess he wanted to like do it like I guess he wanted to do like gradually piece by piece instead of like immediately shooting for a heartbeat bill so that he could have enough like I guess part of him also wanted to wait until like he secured a second term so that he could have like more Republicans to actually like pass it the second time around.
Yeah, but he's pro-life with exceptions, and I'm not down for that. Real quick, Latin said Julius.
Next.
Yeah, but he's still pro-life with exceptions, and that's not
okay,
pro-life.
because we gotta.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna say.
No, you're fine, but we'll do it all night if we don't stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Latin says, Julius, all you have to do is end the first live and start the second live.
Nice.
I know. Well, look. So for all you guys watch, I know this got like this conversation got heated. So interesting stuff. We actually play on
discussions anywhere else, and they're very, very needed in the world right now. So
For sure.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. No, we appreciate all you guys for watching. We do want to have more debates like this, not on this topic, but for like men versus women. So we are looking to do that on this podcast. So if you guys
3
know,
against 1.
yeah, if any women out there who's watching, all the men who are watching, if you want to join the panel to debate men versus women, Age of Men will be glad to host that live. We want to try to do it sometime this month, if not, sometime next year in January.
bring in the new year, man. We want to bring in the new year, the Age of Men. In women.
Yeah, we definitely want to. Yeah, we definitely want to do that. We want to have a debate. So what we want to do is want to have men versus women, a panel of at least 3 to 4 men and 3 to 4 women, and we're going to be talking about are men physically stronger than women? Questions like that. Should women be submissive? Should men pay? Like all these dating questions we're going to be asking about men versus women. It's going to be fantastic. So if you guys want to join, you can always DM us on Instagram.com/Age of Men Podcast, or you can email us. The links are down below. If you want to be a part of the show, the email and the link to our Instagram is down below. We want to have this debate. We want to host a debate between men versus women. Whatever questions you guys have that you want to hear being debated on about men versus women, send us those too as well, and we would have those questions ready and have that debate. I think it would be fantastic. We would love to have you guys on. Again, please join the Age of Men podcast to have these debates. We'd love to have you guys on. It'd be fantastic. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, you enjoyed this whole entire stream, make sure you guys hit that like button and make sure you guys subscribe and share this out. It really does help out, and comment below because your comments also help out the algorithm. So
even if you want to talk shit in the comments, just something. The engagement helps people.
Exactly. And also too, make sure you guys are following us on all other social media platforms. Links are down below. If you want to support this channel, you can also support us down below. The Cash Apps is there. We appreciate you guys. We are 100% viewer funded, so we appreciate you guys again. Your donations keeps the show going. So, Ruel, if you want to give people your information or where they can find you at, or they can follow you at,
Sure. If you guys are crypto curious, you can follow me at darkhorsewatcher.com or YouTube at Black Rue. We do crypto content over there. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for being a good sport, Megan.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
being our friend, Ruel. For real.
Yeah, we
Oh, of
appreciate
course,
you.
man.
I try to hop in and support you too. Every now I try to like a video. I'm like, smash that like button. I'm always trying to hop in and support.
Yeah, Julius was at my last crypto live stream. Appreciate it, bro.
Fantastic. Julius is the
Yeah,
best team player you could ever find, for real. That's a fact.
Megan, if you want to give your links where people can find you at, then they can follow you, all that good stuff.
Pretty much just my username at Megan Rodri, and wish me luck as I take my finals literally next week. Because I'm crazy nervous.
And next week we're gonna have you guys vote with your cash apps in the audience. Should we bring Megan on or not?
If you want Megan on, $5. If you don't want her on, $10.
Whoever pays more money, we'll boot her or we'll bring her, whatever you guys want. Like, Megan, you are great, hon. You're a great young lady. I mean that. I don't
It's
give you
always
enough
good
praise.
to have the opinion of one young female Hispanic.
You're all right. All right. You're all right, kid.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Megan.
Good luck. Good luck with
right.
the test, by the way.
Yeah, you're all right, regardless of what Nick says about you. No,
you're all right being a woman. You're not so bad being a woman. You know what I mean? For being a woman.
I was just kidding.
I've met worse women.
Yeah. But no, good luck to you though, Megan. Hope, I pray you pass. I hope you walk across that stage with honors. So yeah, good luck to you for sure. So again, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Do all the good stuff. Again, links down below to follow us, to support, any questions, all that stuff. For those of you guys who follow me on Today with Julius, I'm not posting anything for a while. I said I was going to be taking a break from that channel. I will be here at Age of Men podcast every single week, but I will not be on my YouTube channel because I got a lot of projects to work on, things to catch up on, all that good stuff. So I will be back next year for sure. Also, to make sure you guys check out Nick and Layla for Propaganda Culture. It's like Tuesday and Wednesdays it is, or
it was Tuesdays and now it's going to be Wednesdays. A much better night for the both of us. So 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday nights. Get your fix of Propaganda Culture.
Right, cool. Yeah, so check it out. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that. Until then, we will catch you guys next week. Don't sleep around.
Maybe Megan will or will not. We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Don't sleep around. Wait until marriage. Be great, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Megan, enjoy your last couple of weeks of college, girl. You've earned it.
Yep. Hey, have a good one. Take care.
My partner in crime, and there was two.